What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience, and I am Arthur Moats. Shout out to each and everybody that's going to be joining us today, man. It's going to be a little fun one. Obviously got plenty to discuss. Old stuff, new stuff, exciting stuff, whether you're pessimistic or optimistic, just depending on the approach you might take to it. But a lot of things that we got to talk about today, man. And at some point, have to hit them phone lines. You already know, because gotta hear your thoughts. Gotta know what you own. Got to know what you own, baby. So, I'm super excited about that, man. But as a whole, man, like where we at right now, man, it's the fun part of the off season, man. Where's the rumor mills? Do you believe them? Do you not? Can this team do it? Can they not do it? And everything in between. So, we're going to spend a little time. We spend a little time talking about all of that. But on the front end, let me go ahead and do this before I forget. Boom. What's up, baby? Today's show is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah. We talking about proper preparation. We're talking about trying to be better at life. How can we improve, right? Whether we're talking about just as an individual, how do we improve if we're talking about in the job space? I mean, whether we're talking about just all the different ways to be prepared for the next step, for that next task. Southern New Hampshire University and some of these online degree programs that they are offering. Come on, baby. You can't beat this. And they have super competitive low tuition rates that are, like I said, going to prepare you for whatever your next steps might be as it pertains to your professional career. It's not too late. I mean, shoot, what you waiting on? I mean, you're watching me, but what you waiting on? Come on, man. You see the link right there, right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. Tap in and go out here and get a chance to prepare yourself for greatness. But now it's time for regularly scheduled programming. Alrighty. Shout out to the good folk over there at Southern New Hampshire University. Like how they been rocking with the show for a little while, man. Got to keep it going. That's what that means, man. Got to keep it going, man. But shout out to the higher ups, man. Still showing love. But yeah, man, got plenty that we going to discuss. Got to discuss it today, baby. But trying to think, where do we want to start today? Because it is Valentine's Day tomorrow, right? So in the comment section, I mean, let me know. Are y'all celebrating Valentine's Day? Who's on the Valentine's Day vibes or not? I know some people are like, man, I don't celebrate that. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do. And then the other ones is like, hey, bro, you know what tomorrow is. If you are not ready, dressed in your beautiful red with all your hearts and all the pinks and all the colors and all the flowers, you might get kicked out. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feeling about it, man. I'm excited, though. Shout out to the lovers holiday for all the lovers out there, man. Big Cupid guy over here. Pew, pew, pew. See, I got my red on, all right? Or maybe nope, it ain't that other red. This is Cupid red. So we're good. Shout out though, baby. Let's see. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, anytime we get these situations like this, man, little Valentine's Day, I say, I like to think about it a little bit, man. Be like, yo, I'm gonna be holding my lady's hand at the mall. If you ain't doing nothing cool, man, what you doing, baby? Come on now. Don't be letting no fellas, don't be slacking on here. I ain't no better than that. Don't be slacking. But shit, Leah Warren says she's single. No, Leah, no. Not in the 254. I know you're not walking around single in the 254, Leah. Come on now, man. It's all right. You choosing that. It's all good. I like it. Shout out, baby. I see you pulling up. I see y'all getting in the building. And shout out to Hannibal as well, man. Peace and love to you, baby. Let's get it. Shoot, I was laughing at myself, more importantly, last night. Obviously, we had the phone lines open. And anybody that was on the live last night, man, we was laughing like, hey, bro, something wrong with the phone, man. People call it in, but it ain't ringing. Yeah. I had my phone set for my old business hours. 4 p.m. start times, not that 8 p.m. start time. My phone was looking like, hey, bro, You don't get calls this late. Why you acting like that? You know better than this. So I got that problem taken care of, man. So we will be good. Like I said, we open these phone lines because, like I said, we do got to talk about a lot of stuff today, man. Okay. Shout out to Jaron, Pittsburgh Steelers for life. He said he's always in the mood for Valentine's, or is always in the Valentine's mood. Shout out. X Concept says Valentine's Day is for the women to take care of us. Ooh, hey now. Hey, always his little give and take. You dig what I'm saying? You got to give them a little, they give a little back. You know what I'm saying? That's how I go. You know how it is, man. But I do like it. I definitely like it. And yes, Tyler, shout out to Tyler, certified lover. You know what time we on, man. All right. Shout out to all the lovers in the world. All right. If you got to love a lady, love a guy, whoever you loving on, man, just make sure you love them the right way. All right. You know. But let's get this thing going, man. Because like I said, we got plenty that we got to discuss. And I want to get your opinions on it. We're going to get these phone lines popping today. All right. I don't want y'all to just be over here listening to moi. Nah, if you got such a hard take against it, I want to hear you talk it, baby. I want to hear you make it make sense. But with that being the case, let's start the show like how we always do. You know what to do. You got to drop it in the comment section where you are tuning in from. So that way I give you that big boy shout out to start today's show. And of course, you know you got to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel, baby. Let's get it. About to see on this here Friday Junior. Shout out the official Momentum. Shout out. We got the homie Flow Grown 420. Tapping into 352 San Ann, Florida. Shout out to San Ann, Florida, Watts. And I was saying Watts because I'm looking at the Don Hefe Quan tapping in for the 323 Watts, California. I know how to party. Shout out. Jay Farrell in the 213 Koreatown, California. Shout out to Koreatown. Gregory Collins. Shout out to Gregory Collins, man. You know Gregory Collins down there in the 727, that Newport Richey, Florida. That Gregory Collins we talked to a couple days ago, man. Shout out to you, baby. Always good to see you here on a Thursday with the boy. Corey Hewen, on that in Greer, South Carolina, the 864. Show him some love. And I do see you, Jar Devil, in the 310 San Pedro, California. You know what time it is. Wendy Johnson. Hey. Wendy Johnson. Shout out to Wendy Johnson in the 562 Long Beach, California. Let's get it. Jeff H says, Moats, hermano. Man, you already know it's all up, my briggity brother in the 919 checking in. Salute to you then on that one. Let's see who else we got in the building. Let's see. All right. Oh man, there we go. The homie David Decker. That's what I'm looking for in the 585 Rochester, New York. He says, Moats, happy Thursday. Omar Khan is working this offseason to find the answer at quarterback. Oh yeah, you know we're gonna talk about that. I just didn't want to rush into it. You know, everybody is so quick to just jump on it and they either go say, oh, it's all the way true, or no, it's not gonna happen. You know, either it's too much fun crowd or it's not enough fun crowd. You know, you can never have it all the way you want a crowd. Hey, I want y'all to actually look for a quarterback crowd, but hey, don't look for a too hard crowd. You know that crowd we talking about, man. So we go slow play that one, man. All right, we get to that in enough time. We get to it. Let's keep these shout outs popping though. You dig? Let's see. Iron Mike 5K in the 405. OKC, Oklahoma. Shout out to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And I do see the homie Hannibal. He said he just off work. Shout out to getting fresh off work, man. In the 770 Atlanta, the ATL, shorty. You know what time it is. All righty. And I will end it with the homie Pittsburgh Toddy 86. Shout out to Pittsburgh Toddy 86. He says, Hola, desee el 5202 son. Arizona. Shout out to that one, man. Shout out that. Or it should be. All right, man. Hey. I like how you doing it over there. I hope I ain't butchered. I know I did, but it is what it is. Okay. So shout out to you. I'm glad that you're here though. All right. Shout out to you being here, man. Okay. Hey, and shout out to JW, man. Showing love to the Nipsey hoodie, man. The marathon always continues. You know that. RIP the neighborhood. Nip. Still crazy that gentleman is no longer with us, but that is how life is, unfortunately, man. And part of what makes life beautiful is the fact that it's not forever, so you got to appreciate the time that you have. And with that being the case, man, you got to get all the way active in this thing also. But before we get into this here first topic that everybody is, eager to get into, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it a lot. We got to do that. I do want to correct a error that your boy was having all day last night. Holy smokes, bro. If I called Gerald Alexander Gerald Avery one more freaking time, I'm so upset with X Concepts. I'm so upset with David Decker, Hannibal. I'm so upset with Steel King, Nate, Corey Hewins, Craig. I mean, just Rod Dolly. Y'all let me just all that. I'm just Gerald Avery. I'm watching the tape, cutting up the cups, and I'm like, bro, who the heck is Gerald Avery, man? We said it was a typo on the screen. That doesn't mean read the typo off the whole segment, bro. And y'all just let it happen. I'm so disappointed in y'all, man. Y'all supposed to be the ones that correct you. You know what I mean? Hey, man, you ain't gonna let you go all like that. Y'all just got me out here looking crazy at night. But shout out to y'all, though. Shout out to y'all, all right? But now that I got that off my chest, now let's go ahead and get to this here first topic. Unless y'all got something y'all got to say about it, all right? Because, like I said, I ain't like how y'all had me out here look crazy. Y'all had me look crazy last night, all right? We better than that. Jeez. X-Concept says, I don't want to be disrespectful correcting you. No, man. If you see me going down the path and I keep saying the wrong name, after I started the segment up by saying what? Hey, look, bro, I was going to put the graphic up, but the graphic was a little bit, misspelled. So we're going to leave the graphic alone. As I'm looking at the graphic being misspelled already on the screen, I'm just like, bro, it's Joe Alexander. And all last night in the show, I don't even peep it. It's literally midnight as I'm cutting the clip. I'm just like, bro. It's like, no way I just did that, bro. No. And I doubled down. The only thing that saved me was the TG interview. At least I got it right by the time I got the TG. But, man, come on, y'all. Y'all can't be doing me like that, all right? Don't let me just be out here looking crazy, all right? Don't let me be out here looking crazy. Y'all knew who I was talking about. Gerald Avery did used to play here. Yes, but I'm not talking about Avery. Avery was the DB that we got. No, was he outside linebacker type? I want to say he was outside linebacker. But, yeah, that's who that was. We weren't on that. We were talking about Gerald Alexander, the coach. Big time difference, man. Big time difference, man. So, yeah, I blame each and every one of y'all. Y'all was in here just, oh, yeah, yep, Moats, yep, yeah, I like all that. You said it's going to help Mink out? Yep, Yeah, that's Gerald Avery is not going to help Minka get back to the Minka stuff. Gerald Alexander, he will, all right? So, now that we got that out the way, jeez Louise. I don't like when I have bad tape out there, all right? Can't be having no bad tape. It's the football in me. Forgive me, all right? Detail my work. But let's get to this first topic. You already know the drill. Hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Let me take a sip of this here Drizzink, because I already know this about to be one of them ones. A little fun one deal. Here I was thinking it was going to be a casual Thursday. I'm going to get in here, talk some Hall of Fame inductees, next year's class, talk these RBs, little phone line, little chill day. And yeah, starts out early. Somebody hit my line. Hey, bro, you see this? It's a tweet. What the tweet say, bro? I said, all right. So I said, hold on, man. All right, I got to read the tweet, right? Make sure I pull the tweet up, all right? I ain't be a lazy journalist today. Be the real one. And it was, man, the Steelers will be trading their 2025 first and second round picks to the Jags for Trevor Lawrence. If they was interested, this would be crazy. Ryan Burr. I'm like, oh, hold on, man. Who the heck's Ryan Burr? I never heard of this cat before, man. I seen it was from somebody else. Like, hold on, bro. Whoa. So we start fact checking. Like, all right, bro. A lot of people talk about it. There's a lot of people giving it some legs, man. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. But then, hey, the Jags ain't got no GM. That don't make no sense. How they gonna make a move with no GM, bro? What's going on here? So then I was like, all right. There's a lot of different variables. But then you have multiple people from one side doubling down on it. Nah, man, it is this. And then you got the other side where they're like, nah, absolutely zero chance, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Y'all are just making up stuff. And because you're just making it up, you're just making it up. So I was like, all right, well, sounds like nobody can either confirm nor deny said report. So that's why I like MySpace, baby, because we don't break any news. No. We don't break news. We just react to it. So we're going to react to this hodgepodge of either you want to believe it or you're too cool and you don't want to believe it. Either way, or you too naive and you do believe it, or you too cool, you don't believe it, however you want to word it, but either way, we just going to play it for both sides. We going to see what that thing looks like. All right. So Trevor Lawrence. All right. Why would we be interested in him first off, right? Well, first things first is we know we have a quarterback situation right now where we're trying to figure out our answer at QB, the long-term answer, not the short-term, not a guy that we just want for a year. We want somebody that we can have for a long, long time, man. And obviously, when we're looking at age, talent, pedigree, production, all of that comes into focus when we're looking at that long-term decision on quarterback. Now, we know this all season. As the time continues to go, we keep getting different versions, different reports about the direction the team is going in. We said, I guess it's now 3 weeks ago when Mr. Rooney spoke to the private media group that he was talking to. He said that he wanted either Russ or Fields to be back, or at least be the priority to return. But he didn't think that both guys would be back, but he at least wanted one of those guys back. We obviously fast forward from there. We talked about Jay Glazer and how that took got a lot of legs up under it going into the Super Bowl, when he said that the Steelers were, almost 100% not going to be bringing Russ back. And then it was also looking likely that Fields wasn't going to be returning either, but he did leave the door slightly ajar for a Fields return. So from there, we got the reports about Aaron Rodgers, him and the Jets. And this is obviously prior to the new information about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, where they've completely closed the door and they've said they're going to be releasing him. The news with that was, okay, will we be trading for Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Glenn and him they look like they're not seeing eye to eye. So now we're looking to potentially go and find him. And the question was, could Aaron Rodgers and Coach Tomlin coexist? Would he fit in Pittsburgh? Then after that, you had Matthew Stafford name pop up as well, along with a ton of wide receivers that, people are saying we have some type of interest in, and then various reports returning saying that some of these same players that we're being linked to are also having interest in us as well. So you fast forward to this morning, obviously the Ryan Burr being the source, and like I say, he's a Big Ten guy. Not really sure how that connection is there, but this is what we do. It's that time of year. And unfortunately, or fortunately, due to just the way social media has, evolved, it's no longer just exclusive to that guy is the only guy that has the answer. It's no longer exclusive to because that guy works for that company, he has the answer. We've seen that now even in-house, where multiple people that we wouldn't deem as credible, or we wouldn't deem as, oh, this is official, they've been right. And at the same time, we've also seen where some of the official credentialed members of the media are also right at times. But that's kind of this back and forth. So for people like us, now we're like, man, how do you definitively say this is accurate versus this is being definitively accurate? It's hard. It's really, really hard. And during this time of year where you're not getting definitive kill shots, being owners, coaches, GMs, or in some cases the players coming out and refuting or validating these reports, these, things that pop up, it does put you in a bind where you do have to acknowledge it, and to varying degrees, depending on who you are, spend some time with it. So for me, because we are very much interested in quarterback, and to me personally, Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback that I like a lot. Yeah, like when he was in Clemson. I ain't gonna lie to you. So because of that, it's like, yeah, I don't mind spending a little bit of time, man, talking about Trevor Lawrence, man. Now, granted, with that, there are multiple factors in this thing. We know Trevor Lawrence is on a 5-year, $275 million contract. Just signed that thing. Was that last year, if I remember correctly? Yeah. So that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. Let's see. And let me see what his cap hit, because he's at the front end of this deal. So yeah, that number is going to get pretty robust. Yeah, it said in 2025, Lawrence is set to take on a $17 million cap hit. But following that cap hit will raise to $78.5 million in 2029. So that's a couple of years on the back end of it. And the deal will hit its largest number in 2028, when the deal's largest hit before that is in 2028, the year prior to the $78.5 million cap hit. He'll have a $47 million hit. And they said that his deal has an out that offseason with zero dead cap. So you want to be able to get out of that deal until 2028 with him. So with that, you are kind of stuck in the sense that if he is not producing to the way that you like, or you change your mind on him prior to 2028, which would be, like I said, three seasons from now, you are on the hook financially. Or you're doing what the Broncos were doing with Russ last year, where he was playing for us for $1 million and they were on the hook for, was it $39 million. We don't like that approach either. We've done that before with Antonio Brown. We moved on from him, shipped him out to Vegas. Obviously, that was when we were paid, was it $20 million in dead money. So we don't want to do that. Not at all. But at the same time, there are parts of it where, yeah, it is intriguing. Man, Trevor Lawrence, we can have our personal opinions about, is he top 5? Is he a great quarterback or not? When you throw for 4,000 yards in the NFL on multiple seasons, you are a really good quarterback. We could take all the emotion out of it and just strictly from a numerical standpoint, you're a really good player. Okay. Now, do you want to marry this dude and that be your franchise quarterback to the end of time? That's a different conversation. But to just start the convo of, is he a good, bad, really good? Where is he at? That's a really good player. It's, to me, that's not we can't debate that part. But if we want to debate the quality of his performances, if we want to debate the consistency with him or his ball security, I think that's a different conversation. But I would also, preface it like this, man. When you're asked to do a lot, you're going to get exposed to more negativity. And with that, for younger guys especially, yeah, you're going to see some of those mess ups, those, shortcomings pop up. Hence the reason why the dude has, throughout his first 4 years in the NFL, you're looking at a dude that's passed for 69 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 46 interceptions. That's a lot of turnovers. It's also a lot of touchdowns. That's all within 4 years. And prior to last year, where he only played 10 games, up to that, it was 16 games, 17 games, 17 games. So you've seen him be available. You've seen this dude out there. It was just obviously this year where that wasn't the case. Now, part of that is him needing to understand when to get down. And that's a bigger conversation around the NFL, man, as a whole. But when you're just looking at, from the Steelers side, why would we be interested? Because this is different. The Steelers having interest in reaching out is different than the Jaguars saying they're ready to move on. Let's make sure we understand that. Both things could be true. The Steelers could be, hey, man, hey, what's up, bro? And the Jaguars could also be like, hey, bro, we're good. Both of those could be true. But in terms of just the focus on the Steelers, in terms of why they would be interested in a Trevor Lawrence, let's keep it going. The dude can throw the rock, man. You talk about what he's done in his first 4 seasons in the league. Let's see. First year he had, 3,600 passing yards, man. Second season, 4,100 passing yards. The season after that, 4,000 passing yards. And up until the 10 weeks, or he played 10 games, like I said, this past season prior to getting hurt, he had 2,000 passing yards. So you can see where the ability is there and the production is there from a passing standpoint. Now, touchdown interceptions, that's where it gets a little dicey at times. Early on, first year, man, was bad. 12 touchdowns, 17 picks as a rookie. You don't like that. People were comparing him to Peyton Manning because of that, right? But he was also coming into the NFL with Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Caleb Williams type expectations because of how dominant he was in college. Remember, this dude beat Bama as a freshman, baby. Yeah, he was cooking. He was it 20-something games on the road, man, was had everybody looking like Clemson was tough. He was like, bro, you got Dabo, a whole bunch of money behind you, man. But that was Trevor Lawrence, with the blonde hair, sunshine. But then from there, second season in the league, he turns it around. 25 touchdowns through the air, 8 picks. Third year, 21 touchdowns, 14 picks. Got back a little high. Then this past year, 11 touchdowns, 7 picks. So when we're talking about him specifically from a passing standpoint, yeah, I feel like that would be a huge upgrade throwing the football wise of what we've been, just putting out there these past couple of seasons, honestly. But the flip side is you do want him to dial back some of those turnovers. This, to me, was reminiscent of what was taking place at Buffalo with Josh Allen. You're scoring a ton of points, but you're turning the ball over a lot as well. And it's hard to live that way in this league, man, where turnovers matter a lot. Touchdowns matter a lot, but turning it over, it hurts you. It can sometimes kill you. So that's the part where when I look at how Justin Fields was able to kind of button it up while he came here, Russell Wilson also, I look at Trevor and I say, man, maybe that's a similar concept. bringing him into a situation where he doesn't necessarily have to do everything. Yeah. Now you're talking about, I don't need you to be great for, the 100% of the game. I just need you to be great for 75% of the game. That's a lot different of an ask compared to what he's been asked to do in Jacksonville. Very similar to what he was asked to do in terms of Justin Fields being asked to do in Chicago. Now, the next part is this, man. In terms of the prototype of what you want at quarterback, Trevor Lawrence is that. Let's not play. Big, strong arm, has touch, can make every throw, has legs, can run. Yeah, that isn't the case. That isn't a debate. That's, like I said, partly why the Jags paid him what they paid him. Now, like I said, these are all reasons why for the Steelers, it would make a ton of sense to be interested in Trevor Lawrence. It makes a ton of sense for the Steelers, and emphasis on the Steelers. We're not talking about, are the Jags going to give him up or not? Because that's a different conversation. But for the Steelers, this is why they're interested in him. This is why, even though they are trying to figure out, do they want to keep Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, why Trevor Lawrence is intriguing. Me personally, I like the fact that they're leaving no stone unturned. Now, will this deal come to fruition? Would the Jaguars even entertain it? Who knows? And I think, depending on how you want to spin it, you could either make it to where they'd be really intrigued about it because, hey, new head coach, fired your GM, trying to start new. Maybe you want to move up and draft something like a Cam Ward or a Shedeur Sanders to go with Liam Cohen, and that's who you want to roll with. If that's the case, sure. But you could also be saying, man, I just got my fresh new head coach. This dude was cooking with Baker Mayfield. He feels confident about Trevor Lawrence. We're not even answering this call. We're not even entertaining it. That could also be the case. So like I said, it really just depends on how you want to go about it. I can't confirm it, nor deny either one of those dudes' feelings on it in terms of organizationally. So that's why we're just looking at the factors of why it would, why we should. And at the same time, if you're Jacksonville, I could understand why they would, but I could also understand why they would not as well. But just if we're talking player for player, yeah, Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking him over Russell Wilson. Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking him over Justin Fields. If we're talking just player for player. But now, if we're adding the money into it, if you're adding what you got to give up via draft resources to go get that player, that changes a lot. Because like I said, he has a 5 for $275 million deal. When you get that type of contract, a lot of people here in the black and gold that have been here for a while, they don't get to stay here, man. They don't get to stay here. So with that, that's the part where, yeah, I don't want to just bring you in because contractually you're going to put a strain on the roster. Now, the next part is what I would have to give up to go get you. I think the report they were saying was a first and a second from this year. I'm like, all right, I don't care about that. I'm not, I don't care about them draft picks, especially if it's this year. I don't want to do future draft picks, but for this year, yeah, I'm like, man, I give a first, second. Third is where we cut it off. I can't give you more than that. But as a whole, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting a franchise caliber quarterback. I'm getting a guy that I've already seen produce. Got a Pro Bowl. He has a playoff win. Shoot, he got a more recent playoff win than any of us. So I think of that part, and that's where I'm like, yeah, so why shouldn't I like him again? Y'all just tell me why I shouldn't like him. And we'll open up the phone lines in a little bit. Trust me, we're going to talk about it. But that's the part for me where I'm just like, I don't see what I shouldn't like about him. I can understand why the Jaguars wouldn't want to do it, but I don't see why, as a Steeler fan, I should be like, y'all don't want to entertain it. I don't get that part. That's my only thing, man. Like, I'm excited about Justin Fields. I'm excited about Russ. But to me, yeah, I just don't see where I think Trevor is up here in terms of what he was doing thus far. Like, that's just how I look at him, though, man. But at the same time, that's my opinion on it, man. And everybody has different opinions, man. But shoot, we know some people, man, would love Kenny Pickett. You know what I mean? Some people love Russ. Some people love Rodgers, man. Some people love Joe Milton and company as well, man. So everybody's going to have a different perspective on it. But like I said, that's definitely how I see it, man. But if we are being completely, if I'm being completely transparent about the initial feel of, do I think it's valid? Do I think this could actually come to fruition? If I had to put a percentage on it, I'd put 25% that it would work. Yeah. And the reason I say 25% is if Liam Cohen, for some reason, didn't want Trevor Lawrence as his quarterback in Jacksonville, I could see that being the reason, because if y'all follow that story, Liam Cohen wasn't going to take the Jags job because of the general manager that was currently there. He didn't want to work with that general manager. So that was why he was going back to Tampa. Shad Khan said, bro, I want this coach more than I want this GM. So he fired the GM because that was going to appease Liam Cohen. Then he made Liam Cohen the head coach and made him one of them beautiful offers he couldn't refuse. Right. And then the whole, oh man, was he lying about his kid in the hospital and all that other stuff that came on. Right. Yeah. So when I think of that, that's letting me know that Shad Khan feels really confident in Liam Coleman. He wants to give this dude every resource to be successful. So when Liam said he didn't like this GM, he did what? He got rid of that GM. So if Liam were to say, man, I'm not a fan of Trevor, I just don't see it all the way, I think I would rather draft, I want to just start new, then yeah, I can see a scenario where Shad would be like, all right, bro, I done got rid of the GM for you. I get rid of him too. Like, we could do it. But that's why I said 25%. Because I'm like, if I'm Liam Cohen, why would I want to move on from a kid, man? I mean, for the draft element of it, sure. I think that you could talk yourself into it because you could get the hard reset contractually, and obviously you'll be able to have a lot more resources on your plate. But unless you're finding a trade partner that's actually going to take on that contract, you like, bro, we stuck. But like I said, if he's available, I would be interested, heavily interested in it, man. For the right price, I would be, because I think he is that talented and he's young. The same way we optimistic about Justin Fields because of his youth, Trevor Lawrence the exact same. So it's like, man, I don't see why I shouldn't like him. That's all, man. I just don't see why I shouldn't like him, baby. But we'll see, baby. We shall see with that one, man. But like I said, let me switch it up a little bit, because usually we wait till the end to hit these phone lines, right? But what I want to do is, while we are in the moment on this topic, I want to open these phone lines up now to kind of get your thoughts on it. All right, so let's try something different today. I'm gonna see if y'all rocking with it. All right, if y'all are rocking with it, hit that like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. But yeah, I don't want to be in here just talking to myself. I want to get your thoughts on it, man. I want to hear how y'all feel about young Trevor Lawrence potentially, being a black and gold guy. If you would want him, if you wouldn't want him, and why. Talk to me. Because, yeah, man, it's always fun that way, man. And anybody could just say, no, man, I don't want him. Tell me why you don't want him. Let's talk about it. So you already know the drill. Let me get this. Now that I got the VIG set up the right way this time. Well, I see you is somebody already trying to call in. I ain't even got it all the way set up yet, baby. I see you, though. I like how y'all working. I like how you're working. Let me get it slowed in. All right. So, yeah, let me drop the digits to dial. 412-346-6955. Once again, 412-346-6955. Talk to me. Who I'm on the hotline with, baby? Hold on. You are super low. Hold on, let me see. Say that again now? Can you hear me? Dude, I cannot hear you. Hold on. I'm going to have to hang this up because I cannot hear you. Let me try this again. All right. So just got to do the good old plug it in and unplug it back. You know the drill. All right. Here we go. All righty. There it is. All right. Talk to me, baby. Who we on the hotline with?
It's Double D.
Hey, what's the word? I'm assuming this David Decker, correct? Make sure I got you right.
Correct. It is Moats. How are you?
Man, I am well. How the heck are you, dude?
I'm doing good.
Let's get it, man. So let's get this thing going, man. Because like I said, usually wait to the end, but I wanted to get this right in the moment, all right? What's up with Trevor Lawrence, man? You like him, don't like him? What's your energy on Trevor, man?
I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a good quarterback. I think if you give him, you look at Clemson and you look at high school, all that statistical and all that record, until he came to the NFL, he had never lost a game.
Think about it, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like you said, you look at it from the money standpoint. If you trade for him, when you have the contracts like Mika and TJ, you're in trouble financially.
And that could definitely hurt us. But if he is good as, the contract says he should be, or what they're projecting from him to be, is that a trade-off you're willing to do?
If it's worth it to get the Steelers back to where they were,
okay. So if he is who we kind of think he could be, or at one point a lot of people thought he could be, and he's flirted with it at times, but the consistency hasn't been there. But if he did do that, you would be fine with it. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
But we don't want a situation like with Cleveland right now with the Deshaun Watson.
And that's the alternative. We did see that. Cleveland sold the house for Deshaun Watson, and now they are prisoners, and it is not looking good over there right now, man. Not looking good at all. Okay. Hey, David Decker, what you got for you? What you got this weekend? What you got the tournament this weekend, right? Or am I off?
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Okay. Nah, I like it there.
This weekend is just going to be sitting back and watching NXT Vengeance Day.
Let's go, baby.
And then watching NBA Saturday.
Ooh, can't go wrong with either one of those then, baby. Can't go wrong either way. But, David, you know I appreciate you rocking out with me like you always do. And you know I'm going to have to spin the block with you next time, all right?
Yep. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to X Concept, Pittsburgh Toddy, and AJ Martinez, and Jay Farrow.
Hey, that is T. All right, baby, peace. Shout out to David Decker right there, baby. The phone lines are open, all right? The phone lines are open. 412-346-6955. Talk to me, baby. Who am I on the hotline with?
Mo.
What's the word?
Man.
Who, is this official? That sound like a voice I know. Who I'm on the line with, man?
Man, it's Flow Grown 420.
Oh, man, this Flow Grown. Man, shout out to Flow Grown. Bro, y'all call. I see y'all in the building today, too, man. Flow Grown 420, baby. You know we got to talk about it. You know we got to talk about it. What's up with Trevor? You a Trevor guy? You anti-Trevor? You think we should or we should just turn our nose up at that dude? He ain't got no juice like that, man. What's your energy?
No, I ain't even fixing to hold you, man. I like Trevor.
Okay.
I like Trevor a lot, actually. I can't even hold you. I thought that year that he went to the playoffs and that year that he beat us, I kept telling my boy early in the season, I was like, man, keep an eye out for old T-Law, man. I think he's got a little something shaking over there, and man, I like him.
Well, shoot. I mean, when you think about what Trevor Lawrence was coming out of Clemson, I mean, he was the way we talked about Caleb Williams. That was how Trevor Lawrence was talked about. And to varying degrees, we've seen him, like you said, play well. But at the same time, it's like, bro, 5 years, $275 million. That's a lot. And you still got to trade to go get him. What would you be willing to trade for it? Would you giving up a first and a second? What you doing? Because that's
where I'm a little bit.
Because they said that's where you got to start the convo. They say you starting the convo the first and the second.
Yeah, and truth be told, at his age, for what he's shown, and I think there's just more in the tank for him. I think he's kind of just in a bad situation. The organization, the Jags, they never really truthfully, they never really been like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I think he just doesn't have the supporting cast.
No, I can see that. I mean, to me, I've liked ETN, but I think it's hard when your best playmaker or your next best playmaker is just a running back. I think you still do want, I mean, even with the Eagles concept, right? We know Saquon is Saquon, but it's like you still got an A.J. Brown and a Devonta Smith out there. I just think with the Jags, they never got enough of that. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. looked good, but we know he was young, rookie, and then obviously Trevor gets hurt. But prior to that, it's like you've seen him, in terms of Trevor, make some plays out there. So I like where you went with that. Now, in terms of his age, just to give you some info, he's 25. He'll be 26 in October. And in terms of Justin Fields is also 25. He'll be 26 on March 5th.
Man, ain't Bo Nix older than him?
Low key, yeah.
Man.
I want to say, look, Bo Nix, you start throwing in Michael Penix, you be like, hold on, bro, wait a minute now. These numbers ain't numbering, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, just because of the game-changing ability of once you have a quarterback like that, it really is a game changer. I mean, look at us when we had Ben. Game changer.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That is facts.
When you got that guy, I don't care, bro. So, no, I ain't gonna say all that. Don't sell the house. Don't do that. But, you know
please don't sell the house. Please don't.
No. But do what you got to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you on that, man.
Secure the bag and do what it do from there.
I like your energy, Flow Growing. I like your energy on that one, man. All right, okay. So shout out to Trevor Lawrence then. So you would, and you cool for the number because you know what you getting, or at least we feel a lot more confident that is closer to what we really want to get, is what it sounds like, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
I like it there. Hey, shout out to you, Flow Grown Folk 20. What you getting into this weekend, man? Anything cool?
Man, living the dad life,
Shout
watching
out.
these UFC fights.
Shout out. I like it. I like it, baby. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you as always for rocking with the show the way that you do, baby. All right?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Shout out. Shout out. Flow Grown 420 showing a little love. All right. Man, talk to me, man. Talk to me. Who I'm on the hotline with? I like it. Y'all in here today.
What's up, Moats?
Man, what's the word? Who I'm on the line with today?
Hey, man, I'm surprised I got in, man, straight off of work.
Hey, I love it, man. I love it. What's your name? I ain't hear your name at the beginning, man.
My name's Phil, man, from Savannah, Georgia.
Phil from Savannah, Georgia. Man, shout out to you, man. Let's get it. You having a good day, though? Weekend vibing out?
Oh, yeah. Just getting off work. Hey, Moats, you sent me a bag last season where you had we had made a bet. Well, we made a bet, but you asked for Jalen Warren gonna score in the first touchdown in the second half.
Yeah.
I ended up winning a little bag from you.
You talking about the Yes Indeed, like the stadium bags?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Let's get it. Hey, yo, shout out to you for that one, man. I like it. Feel down in Savannah, mother. Savannah, Georgia. Love it, man. Well, shoot, since you just got off work, I know you feeling good over there, so let's talk. All right. What's up with Trevor Lawrence? How you feeling about him? Do we want to employ him in the black and gold, or we not digging him? What's your energy towards Trevor?
I like him, but not for what they want, though, man. But I kind of like Justin, but hey, I got a question for you, Bo. Do you think if we get into a shootout, man, can Justin, if we get down 14, can Justin come back for us?
I think he's capable. I don't know if it's consistent enough to rely on that, though. And I think that's what separates, to me right now, my vision on Fields versus like how I look at Russ, or more so how I look at Trevor Lawrence, because I do feel like Trevor gives me the most confidence in his ability to be able to come back whenever. And we saw him do that obviously in the postseason. Was that 2 years ago against Justin Herbert, right? They were down, was it 3 scores? He leads the charge. They come back. Beautiful story and everything in between. With Fields' style, though, because it is more of the legs being the dominant factor right now, he's still trying to evolve out of that. But with that style, it's just tougher to come back from. And that's part of the knock when we talk about Lamar up until, these past 2 seasons. It was with his style of dominance predominantly being with his legs when they're trailing. It's killing too much time for those, touchdowns to happen. Whereas when you're throwing the football, you can get the quick strike. And I think that that's the thing that, to me, I think Fields is capable. I just don't think that I could rely on it each and every week, though. And that's the thing that he could prove me wrong. But for me right now, I'm just skeptical about that. But how you feel about it, though? Do you think he's capable?
Man, I think that's what the big dogs looking at. Tomlin and Rooney, though, man. And Omar, I don't think they too confident in that. And no matter what people think, Pittsburgh is always trying to win now, man. They never
facts.
Rebuild mode.
Facts, you know that.
And I seen you ask a guy a question with y'all stomach.
If we was down, I've been having some rough seasons. Yeah.
No, man, we ain't with that, man.
Hey, look.
I'd rather take 10-7 and one and done in the playoffs versus us tanking out, man.
Hey, Phil, come on, man. They said we only gonna suck for 2 years, then it'd be magically better. Yeah, Cleveland's still saying that right now. Yep. Cleveland's still talking about it's just one more year of sucking. Then we're gonna be back. We're gonna win the championship next time. It sounds good in theory until you live in it and you're like, bro, Buffalo, man, they still ain't got one yet. Think about that, man. Still ain't got one yet. It's tough, man. It is tough to win in this league. So don't take it for granted and start talking about I'd rather lose than win. No, you don't.
You don't want that.
I'm with you.
Man.
I'm with you on that one.
That's just like they want to get rid of Tomlin. I mean, who y'all gonna get that's better than him?
Nah, that's real. That's real, man. That's real. And I do get it, man. They're like, oh man, I just want something different. We all say that in the moment until you got something different, and you like, man, I want that old thing back, and now it's too late. You know how I go, man. But luckily for go ahead.
One more question for you, man.
Yeah, what you got? What you got?
They try to compare, the Chiefs to the 70 Steelers, man.
Okay.
Let's
talk your talk, Phil. Talk your talk, Phil. Talk your talk now.
Prime against prime. Who do you think would have won?
Now, that's interesting. I like the 70 Steelers. I think they're more complete, man. Obviously, the Chiefs' current team, they are in the process of writing their story in terms of who are the future Hall of Famers. Is it a Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones? Will we throw in Tyreek Hill when he was there at some point? But when we're talking about the 70 Steelers, we're looking at like all-time great teams. When you talk about how many guys from that time frame are Hall of Famers, we talk about how this is fatigue against the Steelers being in the Hall of Fame because we got so many of those guys, and a lot of them are from them 70s teams. So I just think that we would, in a way, that 70s team would overwhelm it. Now, the flip side is you got Mahomes, and people look at Mahomes and they say, man, that's arguably the greatest to ever do it at that position. And if you got that guy, you always got a chance. And
you think you can handle that prime defense, huh?
I don't know. With the rules, though, that's the other part. Are we old school rules or are we this day rules? Because I think if it's this day's rules, them dudes gonna get kicked out the game. They not gonna make it to halftime. They all getting thrown out the game. You think Lambert is gonna be worried about hitting somebody in the head and neck area? You think Mel Blunt worried about hitting somebody in the head and neck area? Come on, man. They're gonna be out there killing folk. But if it's in today's rules, I think it's interesting because now you kind of balance out that physical advantage that the Steelers would have had from that old school team, man. But I like old school rules. If it's old school rules, give me the 70 Steelers anytime. But if it's this new rules, man, where you can't touch the quarterback all the way, you can't hit the receiver too hard. If the receiver get hit and he play dead, it's a 15-yarder, they might throw you out. Yeah, man, you know we're going to get everybody getting thrown out the game.
Hey, man, shout out to you, Moats. Hey, man, I was to the Steelers game when we beat the Ravens this last season.
Yeah.
And I had a ball in Pittsburgh, man. I went to what's the bar? Damn, I forgot the bar name.
Where?
It's right there by the Power Stadium.
Are you talking about McFadden's?
No, the steak on the stone.
Oh, okay. I see you.
I think all of them do it, but I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. It's right. Yeah, it's right, literally on the cross street of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But me and my fiance, man, we gonna make it a ritual where we gonna come to Pittsburgh. I'm gonna try to come to the Buffalo Bills.
Hey, let's go. And look, hop around, check out different restaurants too while you're here, man. We got some good little spots to hang out in over here.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the people was asking, we
had a ball on the North Shore though, man.
Hey, look, they was asking, was it Tequila Cowboy? I said, nah. He said they was cooking that food on the stone. They don't do that in Tequila Cowboy. Nah.
Chris Carter promotes it a lot. Damn, I forgot what it's called. Man, we've been there. I forgot it, man. But we had a ball because we stayed right across from the Power Stadium.
Yeah, like I said, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know where you're at. Yeah, I know exactly the location you're at, man. Yeah. Heck yeah on that field.
Yeah, but man, we're gonna try to come back this season, man. I want to come back for either the Buffalo game or the Dolphins game, but we're not sure yet. We got to look at the time and the dates.
I love that, man.
Shout out to you, Moats, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
Hey, no, appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate you from the heart, man. Hey, have a good weekend out there too. How you feel?
You too, bro.
No doubt, baby. Peace. Let's get it. All right, we're going to take one more call on this Trevor Lawrence thing, man. I like how we doing it, though, man. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feelings on Trevor Lawrence. Should we be interested in him or not? All right, talk to me. Who I'm on the hotline with, baby? Who I'm on the hotline with?
Yo, Moats, is this really you?
Man, you know it's me. Who I'm talking to, baby? I got like 30 calls coming in right now. Talk to me. Who
Yo, it's Concept. What's up, man?
Let's go. X Concepts, can I be transparent with you? I was so hopeful that you were going to call it. I was like, yo, X was hot. I see X before the show started. He's like, yo, Josh Allen on the trade market. Everybody on the trade market, all right? It's up right now. It's up. I said, oh, come on, X. I need you to call X. I want to hear how you feel about it, X. X, talk to me, baby. Talk to me. How you feeling about Trevor Lawrence, man? What's your energy towards him, man?
Honestly, I think he would be a perfect Buffalo Bill.
Don't you do us like that? No.
How do you feel about him being a Buffalo Bill?
Nope.
They got to replace Josh Allen once he's a Steeler.
Look, you know the way to my heart, all right? If Josh Allen would have found a way to put that black and gold on, come on now. Yeah, hey, man. Hey, baby. Oh, baby. We talking about the MVP now. The MVP. Oh, that one. Not the pass rusher Josh Allen, the real Josh Allen, all right? Yeah, but I ain't want to get that going. Okay, I ain't feel like that was a possibility. So don't play me. Don't tip me with a good time. X concepts. All right, don't tip me like that. All right. So
I bet if GP is listening, he's getting excited right now.
Oh, 1,000%. He's like, well,
Triple crown.
You said which
guaranteed.
one? You said who? You said that one's coming in? Oh, say less. Sheesh, man. I mean, but that is the thing, though, man. It's like, as much as, we're trying to find this right quarterback, it's like, man, some of these dudes obviously have the characteristics of those Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson type quarterbacks. But at the same time, we got to see these dudes develop. And I think that's why when we're looking at Justin Fields, we have optimism surrounding him, but you also have questions surrounding him. When you look at Trevor Lawrence, it's some optimism surrounding him, but it's also some nastiness with that as well, man. And then you start throwing in with that money looking like it now, it gets super weird,
It does. I didn't understand when they gave him that contract in the first place. Trevor Lawrence,
$275. Yeah, I'm like, bro, that's a lot.
It's crazy. He hadn't earned it yet, but I see they're focused on future potential.
Yes. And you think that was his third season. He was coming off of that was back-to-back 4,000 passing yard seasons as well. So part of that was, he's going to keep this thing going and turn down the turnovers, but that hasn't decreased just yet.
I think he's still suffering from that. Didn't they wipe the terrible towel or something? Yeah, and then all of a sudden they missed.
That was last year.
What got us in the playoffs.
That was last year. Not
yes,
this past year. That was the year when the last year for Kenny. Yeah. Because I forgot which it was.
Wait, who?
Was it? I said that was the last year with Kenny here. With Kenny.
I know that name. Last year for who?
Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett, man. Yeah, Kenny Pickett, man. Put some respect on the Super Bowl champ, man. Super Bowl champ, man. I
World record, smallest Super Bowl ring in NFL history. Huh?
Hey, let him live, man. Let him live over there. Let him live. Jeez.
I had to. It's all love, though. It's all love.
No, salute to him, man.
I did want to say, though. I like Russ. I do really like Russ. I like what he gave us last year. But at the same time, I'm worried about, as his age gets up there, how's his body going to react? Is he still going to be able to move?
And we're already seeing his start to slow down right now. We're seeing him start to slow down from a mobility standpoint.
And that's why Justin Fields is so exciting. The thought of him. And that's why, I really don't want to give up on that.
And I'm with you. I could definitely see why you feel like that. Because part of me is like, before we had Russ, I was here like, Phil's nice, man. I like Phil.
Oh, yeah.
I like Phil's. Like, he's nice. But he has to clean up a lot of his game. And that's the part where when we're looking at Trevor and the throwing, you're like, man, he seems to have that part figured out or closer to having that part figured out.
Agreed. It's that processing. And I feel like that's difficult for anyone. I mean, you have a split second out there to think. And I want to say, I feel like he did clean up the turnovers pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
I'll be honest. Yeah. There were a few dropped picks that, I don't know if I can really
look. X concepts. A dropped interception and a long foul ball is the same thing. All right, it ain't happened. We good, baby. Next play. All right, so we ain't tripping on it. Hey, it almost was a homer, but it wasn't. It was a foul. We ain't tripping.
Do you remember that throw on Pat Surtain? It was
I do. It was a dime. Yep, absolutely.
He's rolling to the right. I don't.
It was gorgeous.
I'm gonna be honest,
I think
that was I think it was a ticky-tack call that stole, I think, one of the greatest throws of 2024. But
on the Defensive Player of the Year. Remember, that was on the Defensive Player of the Year winner, too. Pat Surtain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it was perfect. Right in the bucket. Perfect catch by GP. And that's another reason why with GP,
GP was having his way that day, too, if you think about it. He was cooking Surtain.
Oh, he was.
It was penalties calling everything back, but he was having his way.
GP probably had. I might be being dramatic, but he probably had 200 to 300 yards receiving.
Oh no!
Lost by penalties
easily this year. Easily.
It's frustrating. There's just that potential there. It's just the consistency. Because every now and then you'd have a time, just like with Russ, holding the ball a little bit too long and not keeping your eyes downfield. And then all of a sudden, a fumble. And I know we recovered most of them, but I still want, if you put the ball on the ground, I still count that.
Yeah, 1,000%.
But then, and I thought Russ was doing a pretty good job with that until that Ravens game. And then it all just
What could have been a touchdown turned into disaster. We're like, how did this? I like your competitors.
He saw green. He saw green. He was ready.
He saw green and got blasted. Holy smokes!
He ran straight into the defender. I couldn't even defend that. It was
no. So I'll say this.
But he made the play to put us in scoring there. But then that 21-point swing, you lose by 17. It's like what could have been.
No, 1,000%. And I think that was, to me, the moment where I'm like, I don't feel like he was running into the guy. I think that athletically, he thought he still was this. And if you look at how quickly that guy closed that ground on Russ, that's what told me, all right, dude, it's starting to catch up. And you look at Aaron Rodgers, and it was like certain things that he used to get away with. You looked at him this past year, and you're like, okay, that's starting to catch up a little bit. That's the thing. When I look at Russ, I'm like, it's starting to slow him down. And that was one of those moments where, man, 2 years ago, he's making that play. He's getting into the zone. That's a straight just, man, I'm outrunning this guy. Now it's different. If that was Justin Fields, we all would have agreed. Yes, he's outrunning any of those dudes. The problem is Justin Fields making the plays that were going to get you in that position in that game. We obviously will have, different opinions on it because we can only speculate on it. But that's part of the, confidence or the comfort that people feel in Russ. But at the same time, some of the things that make Russ a little questionable as your long-term answer.
Oh yeah. I've one more question regarding Fields. Since I love your film reviews and everything.
I know. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you on that too, man.
One thing that I noticed this last year with Fields, for some reason, when he would drop back, when he was preparing the throw, it's like he would have one extra hitch.
Always extra step. Yep.
That would set it back just like a split second to where if he had hit it, and he sees it. That's the thing. Like, he sees it, he can feel it, he's processing it perfectly in the moment, but then it's like he just doesn't trust himself or what he's seeing.
Yeah.
And so that's where, if he can clean that up, and being so young too, just like with Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something there too that when you're drafted at 20, 21 years old, you're thrown right into the fire.
Oh,
and with Broderick, it was a shame because he was supposed to sit and learn, and then all of a sudden now he has to start.
Yeah.
Same thing with Fields, but different situation.
Very true.
Because the Bears, being the Bears.
Hey, look, the Bears over there traded for Claypool trying to get my man some help. I said, oh, no, that ain't the one, man. What we doing, man? What we doing? They say, hey, he's worth a second for you, all right? Take it for a second. We like it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I agree.
But no, man, I do agree, though, man.
It's like talking to family right now.
Hey, man, that's how I like to be, man. I like to be vibed out, chilling out, man. But no, man, I do agree with you, though, man. And that's part of with Justin Fields in terms of that drop back thing that you're referring to. That was on his tape even in Chicago. That's some of the things that he's been trying to clean up. He also used to have this bad habit of drifting when he would drop back. It would never be straight back. It would almost be on a little bit of an angle, and it would throw off his just rhythm of when the ball was supposed to come out. So at that position, it's bottom up. Most people just think, man, what's your arm look like? It's like, yo, check the feet. The feet are going to tell you if this throw is going to be accurate enough, it's going to come out on time in the direction of it. And he's still working to be more consistent there. Feet, hips, rotating through, ball placement, touch. That's the last part, because we can still see where he's still more of a bullet passer than necessarily throwing with arc and a little bit more touch on some of the different throws and stuff. So, that layered throw.
He has a cannon.
Right. He has a cannon, but it's like we got to get a little bit more calibrated to have just more versatility with it, because he's capable of it. But that's the question. And obviously at this level, time is never on your side. Because every year you're getting into that contract, you cost more. And every year that you're in that contract, we're looking at the next draft class saying they're younger. They got some of the same characteristics. And why do I need to wait on you? And that's the fight that Justin Fields is currently in and is only going to continue to be in until he ultimately proves that he is, the franchise guy going forward.
I agree.
I like
it.
Hey,
when you were mentioning about the footwork, it made me think of that play from Russ to Mike Williams at the end of the Commanders game, and how his footwork, he had his footwork right, but then he got hit, and he's in the process of throwing, but he was still able to. I don't know how to word it, but
he was still able
somehow he still got what he needed to.
Yes, because we're not saying that it's going to be perfect every time, but what we're saying is this: if you do these things right, you are giving yourself so much more margin for error. Whereas if your feet aren't correct, your arm has to be perfect. If your eyes aren't right, man, this has to be excellent. If this isn't good, then that has to take over. When you do all the little things right, it just minimizes the need for big things to go right for you. You know what I mean? And I think that's the part with, any of the positions out there. When we talk about pass rushing, it's like, man, we get so caught up on the move at the top. It's like, well, what was the get off like? Did he get off the ball in a timely manner, or was he late off the ball? Was he too tight from an angle standpoint, or did he have enough width in it? Those are the little things that set you up for the end result, which is the strip sack. It's like when we get to that, that's usually the gravy part. So with quarterback, it's very similar in that vein, man. It's a lot more about the little things with it that make the big overall production be what we want it to be. So shout out to that. Shout out to that. X Concepts, man. Appreciate the heck out you spending some time, man, jumping on the call with me today, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me. Honestly, I'm glad I got through.
Let's get it, man.
Shout out everyone in the chat.
There it is. All love, all love. Shout out right there to X Concepts, man. I like it. All righty. That was good convoys right there. Like I said, man, trying something a little different on occasion. Open up them phone lines a little bit earlier so that we can all the way get it off our chest in the moment without you having to wait to the end and be like, hey, all right, let me get back to that topic again. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. All righty. Let's see. Let me get it. So, we got a super in here. Shout out to the super chat, man. I see you showing a little love in the building. Tons of fun. Let's go. All right, let me take that down. Okay, let's see. Where do we want to go next? Oh, got the Hall of Fame inductees, man. Talk about this Hall of Fame class, because we did not talk about them the other day, man, because obviously we had plenty of stuff taking place around here in the vibe. So, like I said, man, let's talk about these here Hall of Famers, man. So, in terms of the Hall of Fame class, man, for 2025, Eric Allen, old school DB, man, drafted with the Eagles, played with the Saints, Raiders, man, ton of interceptions during his time frame. Obviously, he waited for a while to get in, but now he's officially in. So shout out to him, Eric Allen. Now, the next one that did get inducted, Jared Allen. For those that remember him, man, that's Mr. Lasso him up, celebrating. Obviously was with the Vikings, Bears, and Panthers. 100+ career sack dude, man. So big time salute to him, man. I remember watching this dude. Like, that was one of my ones, man. Between him, DeMarcus Ware, Sean Merriman, I used to be like Peasy, like I do all them little celebrations, did all that. So he definitely one of those guys, man. I remember him very, very vividly, man. But it was good to see him. And fun little fact right there, he's a Buck Buchanan Award winner as a 1AA guy for college football, man. And the reason I know, because I had the same award given to the best defender in the nation, man, for the 1AA level at that time frame. And I was remember, man, Jared Allen, man. They say, oh, he won that award. So, hey, man, that's pretty daggone cool. All right, so shout out to my Buck Buchanan Award-winning brother over there. Next up, we know Antonio Gates. Got to talk about that, man. Holy smokes, man. Revolutionized the position of tight end, man, right? In terms of changing it from what we deemed as the traditional sense to the hooper coming to the football field and playing basketball out there, essentially. Mister, I'm going to box you out, throw it up. I'm going to go jump ball this thing, man. The way that he opened up the doors to, a lot of just former hoopers transitioning to football now, man. Gates was one of those guys, man. Obviously, you think about Tony Gonzalez. I think of even in a Jimmy Graham, right? You remember Jimmy Graham? He was murdering folk out there on that field, man. Former hoopers, though, right? Even Mo Alley Cox, right? We obviously know he's been in Indianapolis for a while now, man. A lot of dudes that used to play on that basketball court that at times you would question, man, can this guy do this? And it's like, yeah, why can't he? He's big enough. He has enough size. And honestly, for guys like me, man, who were multi-sport athletes, we're like, bro, basketball and football have a lot of carryover, man, in the sense of the one-on-one element, whether you're talking from a defensive standpoint, mirroring guys, but more importantly on, offense, I look at that no different than rushing the passer one-on-one. If I can blow by you, if I got the ball in my hand, crossing over, Euro step and everything in between, man, pass rushing the same thing. I'm trying to see how I can get you to get your body going this way, cross back over this way, man. I'm gonna hit you this way, Euro step back that way. So with that, man, you know, when you seeing guys like Antonio Gates, man, that really, you know, was one of those dope things right there, man. All right, next up, and this is one of those ones, man, OG guy, and he was actually the only guy from the senior contributors, right, or senior players, right, in terms of they had been available for Hall of Fame candidacy, but because they had lasted too long, they got put into a different category. Sterling Sharpe, we know the big brother too, Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Fame tight end, and heck of a career, man. Obviously tragically cut short with the neck injury, but man, during his time frame, dominant. When you listen to how people that watched Sterling Sharpe play, they all speak so highly of him. You think about how Shannon Sharpe talks about him. Now, granted, that's his brother, big brother, but this is a Hall of Famer that talks about Sterling Sharpe, saying, man, that he is way better than what Shannon was. And we think of Shannon as one of those other guys at the tight end position that really, you know, put his stamp on it from an all-time standpoint. And I mean, from a historical standpoint as well, for the Sharpes, both of them, first pair of brothers to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Historic, big time right there for both of those dudes, man. And I mean, it was pretty cool too, seeing when Shannon was letting Sterling know that he was inducted, man. He's seeing that emotion between the two, man. I could just only imagine the way that them two dudes competed growing up, and probably how they competed against each other from a statistical standpoint of, man, I want to make sure that I'm the better brother. I'm the better. Just like, I could only imagine that. Very similar to when them Watts started going into the hall. When them JJs and that TJ, I'm like, yo, I could only imagine how that's going to look, man. I want to see that moment as well, man, because I know those dudes love each other so much. And it's one of those, you know, you spend your whole life competing with this person, whether you're competing with them, you know, directly in terms of when we're living together, or as we parallel career-wise or collegially, man, I'm trying to catch you. We always hear them joking back and forth, JJ about having multiple depoys, TJ with the one, but wanting to get another one. So with all of that, it's like, man, whenever you see the chance for family members to get in, I thought that was pretty impressive. But yeah, the Sharpes were the first family members to get in. The Watts, if y'all don't, if the Mannings don't take it first, we coming. All right, the Watts is coming for certain. But I will say this though, man, I did have a grievance. I had my grievance. All right, I know there's a Terrell Suggs that's available. I would have loved for him to be in there, but at the same time, when I look at Jared Allen, I say, man, statistically, their numbers are very similar from an all-time sack standpoint. Jared Allen has been waiting, whereas this was Suggs, I want to say, first year of eligibility. So due to those dudes pretty much being, I think it was like a 3-sack difference between the two, Jared Allen has the second highest single season sack total, 22 sacks. We know the one is with Michael Strahan and TJ Watt tied for 22 and a half sacks. Jared Allen has a 22 sack season. So with that, I just said, man, if both of these dudes are very similar in terms of their overall numbers, man, if this guy has that defining, you got this record, or you know, you're on the brink of it, then to me, I didn't have an issue with them putting him in over Terrell Suggs. Now, Suggs is going to get in, whether it's next year after that, man, he ain't going to wait long. Suggs is Suggs. Like, I look at him like, yeah, he could have definitely been a first ballot guy, but I can understand the direction. My issue was with Luke Kuechly. I'm like, bro, how is Kuechly not a first ballot guy? It's Luke Kuechly we talking about, man. I'm like, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, yeah, but you didn't even have to take them dudes off, which is my issue, because you technically could have we technically had 5 people that are in the modern era be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in this class. They added Sterling Sharpe as the older guy, but you could have had a total of 6 people in this class. And that's the part where I was just like, I don't get why Luke, you know, didn't get in this day, man, because to me, I don't think there's a debate when we're asking about Luke. To me, Luke was in that convo with Bobby Wagner, Patrick Willis. You look at Patrick Willis being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm like, well, how is he first ballot and Luke isn't? Luke was nice, man. Production, awards, loud, like everything that you want to see, man. The true quarterback of that defense, man, and doing those type of runs, man. So, like I said, that was my big grievance, man. I wasn't tripping on Eli, man. I was like, bro, Eli, you're going to get in, but just stay over there for a little bit, all right? Now, next year's class is going to get weird because obviously, like you said, you know, you got Drew Brees coming out. You got Phillip Rivers joining the docket. Obviously, Eli will still be available. Suggs will be available. You got this receiver, Pittsburgh guy. What's his? Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah. You catch what I'm saying? Next year's class is getting crazy. So I'm like, yo, Luke better be in there. Don't play with Luke. All right. But next year class, I'm like, bro, Drew got to be first ballot. Larry Fitz got to be first ballot. So we already down 2 spots. It's like, whew, it's going to get dicey over there, baby. It's going to get real dicey over there. But like I said, man, those were the 4 Hall of Famers for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. So shout out to those guys. But yeah, I need Luke Kuechly in that thing like yesterday. All right, T Sizzle yesterday. All right, stop playing with them boys, man. Stop playing with them boys. And if y'all digging, the vibe today, hit that like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Let's get it. All righty. Oh, and shout out, man. Did I not get your super tons of fun? I could have sworn I thought I read JoJo. I'm tripping. Let me get you right. I can't believe you didn't send this super and I'm just letting it just chill in here like that. Can't do that. All right. So first off, Still Curtain 43 joined the upper room. So welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Take a little sip. Now, Phantom TV, I know how you feel, man. It said if James Harrison doesn't get into the Hall of Fame and Jared Allen got in, the Hall of Fame is trash. I know we all feel strongly about Debo. You know how I feel about Debo. Love Debo. Problem is, though, when they look at them career sack totals, that's where Jared Allen, Terrell Suggs, it's like heavily in their favor there. And that's going to be the big sticking point for Debo in the sense of, just him getting into the hole. I think he will at some point. I just think he's going to have the long wait because he didn't have the 100+. When you don't have the 100+ career sacks, man, as a pass rusher, that's kind of like what they like to put the mark at. You know what I mean? Like those guys that have more than that, yeah, you're the gold jacket guy. When you don't, it's like, man, now we're having to fight and debate, and that's where we bring up Debo's postseason success, right? We bring up how he had the craziest play in Super Bowl history from a defensive standpoint, the 100+ yard pick six, filthy, right? We talk about him being the scariest man in the league, right? And all those things, right? But that is the part where they are going to knock him versus support him. We don't agree with it. Do you know that? We would all feel like, yeah, if we were, when we go back to in that time frame, Debo was scarier than Jared Allen. But Jared Allen, from a production standpoint, even though it was in Minnesota, it was loud. It was, like you said, it's like 130+ career sacks. You know what I mean? So it's like when you get in that range, it's a lot more, I guess it's a lot easier for somebody to make an argument for you to get in versus, when you don't have the 100+. People are going to be just, hey, man, well, why? And I think that's what he's kind of dealing with right now, man. But give it some time, man. Just give it some time, man. And Steelers Road Warrior, I pray that they don't. I hope they don't make him wait till, it's the end and now he's like super old and don't even care no more. But you know what? If they make him take a PP test, I ain't tripping on that, though. All right. But you could be on whatever you want to be on there. He gonna still be good because he was a clean performer. All right, I can tell you because I was training with the man. All right, so shout out to the homie on that one. Shout out to the homie. All right, but yeah, man, I hope they'll make that man wait forever though, because I feel like they gonna try to. But yeah, I think him and Hines, man, they got the weight right now, man. But they'll get in. I feel like they will get in. It's gonna take some time, unfortunately, man. All righty, tons of fun. Shout out to tons of fun. Says. Media will give us all these big names all offseason, but Steelers won't do anything. No amount of billboards will change that. Bob Nutting 2.0. Oh, I mean, shout out to tons of fun, man. Shout out to tons of fun. All right, man. I wish you would have called in, man. I want to hear your perspective on why you feel so strong about this name, man. Because the way I look at it is like this: the big names that are associated with it. We're in bed with them. We're trying to get them here. Nobody wanted to believe in Brandon Ayuk. That deal was, we were interested in it. And we were the last people at the table. Now, granted, we were the ones stuck like, dang, we lost. But that don't sound like Bob nothing to me. Now, granted, we got different opinions on it. But to me, that's like, yo, you trying to get it. Devontae Adams. Was we not trying to get that? We was trying to get that. Traded for Mike Williams. Went on, got Russ, got Fields. That don't seem Bob nothingness to me, man. But from my eyes, I just see it a little differently, man. We can talk about the end result not being what we want in the sense of the moves not giving the production that we would like. But I think there's a big difference from a philosophical standpoint and from an actual just going out and executing this standpoint than what we see with them Pirates over there, man. But I get it, though. I could definitely understand, man. Frustration is frustration. And in terms of the billboards, yeah, that was actually kind of funny, man. Jeez Louise, man. Yeah, shout out to the homie, though, man. Yeah, he was frustrated, man. So he wanted to spend some money. I hope it, made him feel good. I don't know what the, end game is for that. But like I said, man, everybody has their own money and their own ways of expressing their frustrations or their, pleasures. And I just think this is one of those ones where, yeah, sometimes people want to get a billboard. So if you want to get a billboard, get a billboard. I'm not going to get a billboard. But if you want to get a billboard, man. I ain't tripping against it, babe. I ain't tripping against it. Shoot. AJ Martinez also showing love, man, gifting up room membership. So shout out to AJ for gifting up room membership. And welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Remix asked a good question. He says, did he make a billboard when the Pirates lose? I don't know. Look, I wouldn't have even known it was a billboard up till people was texting my phone like, hey, bro, you see this? You see this? I was like, no, I don't be going around looking at billboards personally. I just be vibing out. All right. I don't even know what a billboard is, but, it is what it is, man. People frustrated. All right. When people get frustrated, some people react different ways. All right. So, hey, man, to each their own. To each their own, man. I was just laughing. I was like, hey, I know it. I was like, that's my dog. It's Kevin. Oh, no. But shout out, man. You got to love the black and gold, man. And part of me says this. You hardly will ever hear me, come up here and bash people for having passion about the game. That same passion is why those stands are as packed as they are. That same passion is why, we come up here, do multiple shows covering the squad, even when there isn't a game for the next 7 months, right? 8 months, 9 months, right? We still do this because we're passionate about the game, man, for various reasons. And that's the thing where it's just like, man, you can't, tell a person what's right versus what is wrong. But as long as, from my eyes, or the way that I look at it is like this, man, as long as somebody's getting physically hurt, man, and we're not, being outlandish in the sense of, discriminating, racism, stuff like that, man, I ain't tripping on it, man. It's like, yo, just don't put your hands on nobody. All right, just as long as you got there, we good, man. All right, but yeah, the billboard was kind of funny. I was like, yo, bro, just, all right. Hey, shout out to the disposable income, man. Shout out to disposable income. All righty, tons of fun. Also brought up. It says Broderick's fundamentals is the number one example of why I hate Pat Meyer. Yes, it's Jones' responsibility for his own success, but will the same happen to Troy? So if we want to do that, then I would ask you also, how do you feel about Zach Frazier's fundamentals? Because I think we would all agree that we like what we see from Zach Frazier, and he's in the same room with the same coach that is Pat Meyer. I would also ask you, how do you feel about Mason McCormick? He's in that same room as well. Less pedigree. How do we feel about his performances, man? Say Umalu, you can go down that list, right? So I'm with you in the sense that, yes, if we are just isolating our attention on Broderick Jones, yes, there are a lot of things that he puts on tape that makes you question where he is either getting taught that or why is he doing that. Sometimes it's a little bit of both of that, man. And yeah, I wish we had that answer. We don't get that because we're not privy to being in there for every single play. I don't want the big summary. I just want to see, can we get the game? And when they give you the list of 60 plays that you played in, I just want to see the plus and the minus, and let's count them all up. That's what I want to see. And then show me your practice version of that. And what does that look like as well? Because I think if you're doing this in practice, it's no surprise that it's showing up in the game. So I just need to see what that looks like, but we don't get that info. They don't want us to have that type of info because then we could really be like, hey, bro, you're tripping. I don't care. Don't put it on him. This is a you thing, all right? Because when I do that with Frazier, we're going to be like, yo, he has a lot more positives. When we do it with McCormick, some like it's a lot more positives. Same out, a lot more positives. Damn more, especially for the season, it's going to be a lot more positives. That's my only issue. I don't care about who the coach is. I mean, shoot. Yeah, I think, man, I had Munchak. Munchak was the O-line coach when I came here, man. I love Munch, man. Shoot. So I don't have a dog in any of these races like that. But when we're trying to make it like, because this one player isn't playing well, we're going to ignore all these other players that we would say as individuals are playing well and then say it's that guy's fault. I just don't agree with that part. If it made sense to me, man, I'd be with it. If it was like, yo, he suck, heck yeah, bro. You are the reason. You got to go. But y'all gonna tell me that y'all like Zach Frazier. Y'all gonna tell me you like Mason McCormick to the point we're ready to move on from James Daniels. We don't hear anybody hollering about cut Isaac Sayumalu. You catch what I'm saying? So now I'm like, all right. We're supposed to just not like Dan Moore because that's what we've been told. Sure. But that's my whole issue with the whole Pat Meyer argument, man. If I could see it, then I'm like, yo, I'm supporting it, man. Let's do it. But I just don't see how that one player is this is what's really going on. And these other guys, we just supposed to like not acknowledge are playing well at times. Actually, really well at times. Depending on who you're talking to or depending on which player. So that's my only thing, man. But with Broderick, I have optimism, though. And the optimism is that we haven't seen him at left tackle. So what is stopping him from showing us that he can be everything we thought he was when we drafted him? Anything that we've seen negative from Broderick, whether we're talking technique, whether we're talking effort, whether we're talking decision-making, has just been him at right tackle. So, hey, you put him at left, that might be the game changer. And I bring up Dotson. Oh, excuse me. Think about Kevin Dotson, right? Dotson, man, he said he's the right guard, right? For, multiple reasons we had to play him at left. Played well at left, but it wasn't like how he looks at right. You look at him in LA at right, it's like, yo, man, dude done got paid. He looked really good, like dang good. Left, he still was good, but it's like, yo, it's different levels to where he felt confident and comfortable at. So when I look at Broderick, I say, maybe it's just, man, he doesn't feel confident on that side. He doesn't feel comfortable on that side. And because he's a competitor, he's not going to say no to it, but that's just what's kind of hurting him right now. So if Dan is going to leave via free agency, man, all right, Broderick, what's stopping you from going over there and being great? And if he goes over there and plays at a high level, none of us are having these convos about any line coach. Nobody cares about O-line coaches until we were like, oh, man, I had an expectation for that guy right there. He didn't look good. So you know what? Fire the coach. It's like, bro, no one even cared who Munch was until he started. Oh, what's going on? All right, who's got it? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Why are we doing that all of a sudden, baby? So that's the only reason that you hear my energy being like that. It just feels like what we really want, we're not getting. So we're just like, yo, somebody got to go. And it's like, we can shoot just to shoot, but are we shooting with, the intent that this is going to have a positive impact? Or are we just doing it just to do it? I'm just not a fan of just doing stuff, just do stuff. That's all. But that's why I said, man, we can have difference of opinions on it. I can see where if we don't want to put it on Broderick, you put it on Pat Meyer. It's a lot easier that way, man. It's way easier that way to do that. And it's way easier to replace Pat Meyer than it is to replace Broderick Jones. So all of that I can get. All of it I can get. But if you're just asking me simply, do I think that changes the outcome? I'm going to tell you flat out, no, I don't. I think that player has to decide, man, that he wants to be what we think he's capable of being. And everybody is different with how they handle that and what they deem is worth, the sacrifice or how much of that sacrifice. So that's, like I said, why we got the difference of perspective on it, man. But I definitely could dig what you on, though, man. And shout out to you, Tons of Fun, also spending the block, gifting a upper room membership. I was trying to see who you gifted it to, but I could not see. So shout out to you, Tons of Fun, and to that individual, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All righty. AJ Martinez says the 5-5 experience chat is the steel curtain of social media. Let's go. 134 watching. Let's go. Blessings to all. We are going to draft the QB in the 5th. JK. Nah, man, listen. We better not wait till the 5th to go get us a guy. Unless, we already got the guy. Now, if that's Justin Fields and we paying him, yeah, ain't no point in drafting something super early. Get you some resources around him. Let's lean into it and let's go. But if not, then it's like, yeah, man, you better go get you something, get you a contingency plan. I ain't tripping on it. I'm not tripping on it. But, yeah, man, let's see what we're going to do. This is the fun part of this time frame, though. It's speculation season, man. It's speculation season. And then we won't know the answers to that test until, obviously, a couple weeks from now. But it's always fun when you start it off and it's like, all right, I can see it. I can see a pattern. I can see a path. I can see how. I do like that part. Okay. All right. Tons of fun. Also says, why do I feel this way? Because we still buy the product because of nostalgia, even though the product is no longer good. Here we go again. Now, perspective is everything. From the Steelers fan perspective that you're communicating, yeah, that product is no longer good because it is not what you are desiring, which is a championship, which you are completely in 1,000% right to want and desire. But from a market standpoint, from a consumer standpoint, from a competitor standpoint as well, I would have to deny that the product is no longer adequate or good. It's actually far from the poop that you kind of referenced right there, baby, if we're going to be real about it. Because you got 10 wins, man. Talk to the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, we're not saying that we want to be them. We're bigger than above all that. But I'm just saying, like, we can talk about, like, crap product teams. This ain't that. I get the emotion, though. I promise I do. And that's why I'm like, I see what you're saying. I do. I definitely do. But at the same time, it's like, then what do we call the Jags this past season, man? You know what I mean? It's like, bro, that look, what do we call the Browns there? If we bet with the Browns, they're like, God, dog, that's all I be saying, man. But I'm not saying that we want to be them because we definitely don't want to. But just perspective wise from an outsider, all right? Because how I see it, I don't really see it like how you see it. So that's why I was like, outside me, you know what I mean? But I dig it though. I definitely dig it though, Tons. I definitely dig it though, Tons of fun. Shout out to the homies, man. AJ Martinez is showing love to stand clear. Jay Farrow, the Don Hefe Quan, Javi Bird, Toddy 86, and David Decker. Shout out to AJ showing love. Ooh, Tons of fun. Also spins the block and he says, with Frazier, we'll see this coming season. What? So now we're going to discredit what we saw from Frazier solely because we want to find a reason to put it on Pat Meyer? What are we doing? Are we looking for negativity? Or are we just going to actually take the variables that are in front of us and react to that? Because this whole speculation that we'll see this upcoming season, it's like, bro, we saw this season what he did as a rookie. Week 1 starter. What are we talking about, baby? Come on now. I get why we want to make it a negative on Pat Meyer, but that isn't that. So come on, baby. Come on now. We'll see this upcoming season. Jeez. Zach Frazier. Hey, look, man, I ain't know Zach Frazier won't lie. All right, man, shout out. If you're confident, is this a non-confidence in Zach Frazier? Because I'm confident in Zach Frazier, baby. I just ain't know. All right, Tons of fun. Also says, dang well, Isaac learned from on the best in Philly. Or he says he learned from the best, which is in Philadelphia. And he says, I'm sorry, shouldn't talk about changes with the Steelers. Nah, man, listen, we like to play the game of not talking about it. But you just don't like to acknowledge when the change actually happens because it doesn't satisfy your appetite. There's nothing wrong with that either. But let's just call a spade a spade. That's all, baby. Both things can be true. Change is happening and change has been happening. Even when we dated back to them dropping first round draft pick to go get Minka Fitzpatrick. When was that? When did we ever do that? Them trading up to go get Devin Bush. When did they ever do that, right? Now, were the results what we wanted? No. But to act as if it wasn't happening, to me, that's just you trying to put the blindfold on and not acknowledge it. That's a different conversation. If we try to paint a narrative, then that's the approach you go with. But if you actually are looking at the variables in the context and you trying to proceed with what is going to help us win, then you can't take that approach. The same way you get enamored with the negative, you also got to realize what you're doing well. and figure out how to expand on this, minimize this, and let's keep this thing rolling. Whereas if we only talk in absolutes where it's always negative, 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 you're never going to get a chance to actually see what you're doing well. And instead of actually building upon the things that you're doing well, you're taking away from that. All because of your perspective being just a little bit off. That's all, baby. But I love your passion, though, baby. I promise I love your passion. Tons of fun. Let's get it. Hey, AJ Martinez also showing love. He says, X Concepts Remix. The Brobarian and Mr. Hood says, staying lit, man. Shout out to the fellas. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to the chat showing love today. If y'all digging what we on, make sure to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, man. Elwin Van Zel says, man, Myers stinks. His players don't grow until they leave. I hear you, except what is Zach Frazier? What is Mason McCormick? What is Dan Morbin? That's why I disagree. Say Milo's been here now. He's not deteriorating. He's not getting bad. I don't look at Dan Moore and saying, bro, nobody's about to pay you this offseason. You're about to be unemployed. I don't see that. So I don't follow this like venom that we get towards Myers. Like, sure, but who are we talking about outside of Broderick? That's my thing that I'm trying to figure out, man. And I like how we bring up Dotson because Dotson is the poster boy for, man, he left here and he got really, really good in LA. But I'm like, who else are we bringing up? Who else are we talking about? Chooks? We ain't bringing Chooks up like that. People ain't even want Chooks to get paid while he was here. Not saying that it's varsity, not saying that it's above varsity. We're just like, yo, we love it. We want to keep it here forever. I ain't saying extend it either. I ain't saying none of that. But to act as if like, yo, you're the reason this sucks. It's like, no. I point to that. You got to get that. Like, you on the field, you controlling it. That's all. But once again, this is how I look at it. Because of the perspectives that I have, the experience that I've had. When you're out there on that field, man, it gets real lonely if you hoping that your coach gonna have a magic call for you. That's the perspective that I'm communicating from. It get real. You start looking like that kid waiting on their dad to come pick them up from school that don't never get picked up. When you start hoping that that coach gonna have that magic call for you. Hey, coach, please tell me the answers. Coach, please save me. Hey, coach, I ain't got, coach, he big, coach, he strong, coach, save me, please help me, God, coach, come on, coach, please. That ain't gonna happen, baby. That ain't gonna help you. So that's why for me, man, when we constantly point to that and I'm like, yo, if everybody was bad, I would agree, but I don't see that. And when I don't, it's hard for me to just say it just to say it, because if I don't feel it, then I'm not gonna say it. That's how I am, unfortunately. All right. But I do like the vibe though, man. I do like the vibe. All right. But for sure, man, for sure. I'm not saying that we're extending him or that I would want to extend. I'm not saying anything remotely close to that. But what I am saying is I do feel that this one player is more, I think he has more individual work to do than it being the coach all the way. Now, coach is still a part of it, though, because coach still matters. Absolutely still matters. And that's why we talk about with Munchak, man. Munch being here, man, it was a big uptick. Problem is, Munch ain't available right now. Munch ain't coming. He chilling. He doing the family thing. So it's like, all right, here we are. But I don't like to spend a lot of time just doing the whole fire when this player still has to step up and do what he's required to do. And I just think for me, man, because of living it, I just can't see it differently because knowing how that actually worked. So, like I said, that was my perspective on it, man. But shout out to the gang. Shout out to the fellas on that, man. All right, let's go, UW. Shout out to Let's Go, UW. He says, so, with the Trevor Lawrence rumors, as much as I would love that the Jags aren't that stupid, and since we are hosting the draft in 26, I doubt we want to lose that first-round pick he says, and he doubts that we want to lose that first-round pick when we are going to be hosting. So I would agree. The thing is this, though. The reason why the Trevor Lawrence, the trade package, they were specifically talking about 2025 draft picks, first and second round, because they said that the Steelers did not want to tap into anything in 2026 due to the fact that we will be hosting the NFL draft, which we know is coming to town. It's going to be crazy out here. But that's the big reason why they were saying that they didn't want to even entertain 2026 draft picks, just 2025. I like that as well, not necessarily because of the draft. I like it more so because a lot can take place in one singular season where there's injuries, people get disgruntled, people not living up to expectations. And I just like to at least feel like I have one magic bullet in that first round that could at least mitigate some of the damage, mitigate some of the loss. There isn't a guarantee on it, but it's just the illusion that, hey, you know what? It could, in some magical lottery, it could. Versus, not just being able to even lie to yourself. I just kind of like that feeling of, at least I got something back there. Maybe it could develop. I might miss on it, but it could. And like I said, that's the thing that from the reports that the Steelers were trying to avoid. Now, in terms of just from a money standpoint also, and not money in the sense of salary cap, but money in the sense of merchandise promotions. Obviously, for the Steelers, you want to have draft picks here in the city, man, because a ton of fans are going to be here next year for that draft, man. Whoever that first and second round draft pick is, man, them jersey sales are going stupid that day, especially with the spot right down there on the south side. So that's the only thing that I would say about that, man. But shout out to you. Let's go, UW. And Tons of Fun says, oh, yeah, I'm sure TJ is happy about being 0-4 in the playoffs. Now, that's an interesting one, man. If you are TJ, and Tons of Fun, man, drop it in the regular comment section too, man. Let me know. From his perspective, if you were in his shoes, would you be wanting out then? Or would you want to stay here because you think you can be the reason why things change? You let me know how you feel about that, though. Tons of Fun, man. I want to hear how you feeling on it, man, because I like this combo we got going, man. But yeah, TJ is 0-4 in the playoffs. I don't think he's happy. In fact, I think he's pissed off about it. Somebody, I can't remember if it was you, Tons of Fun, or not. But we did have that question the other day, right? Does TJ need to request a trade? Did win a Super Bowl, right? We saw Myles Garrett do it. Yeah. Now, we don't know if it's going to work out for Myles, but we did see him request a trade. So, yeah, man, let me know. Does TJ Watt do the same thing? Or you think he'd be capable of being part of why we win one here while he's here? Because everybody has different views on it. Some people think he is capable of being the force multiplier and being one of the mainstays of a championship team here. Others are saying, nah, man, we ain't going to do it in time, man. You getting too old, man. It ain't going to look right, man. This is done. Just move on from him. So you let me know. Tons of Fun. Let me know. All righty. And shout out to y'all in the chat today, too, man. Hit that like button one time for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. AJ Martinez says TJ's going to stay till he gets a ring or the family gets shut out. We need JJ. Oh, okay. Now, hopefully we ain't got to wait till JJ join the squad for us to win one for TJ. Hopefully TJ go ahead and take care of that this upcoming season. That's the goal. Now, Elwin Van Zyl says TJ is upset about results, but he's a huge Steelers guy. I agree. I think TJ is one of them dudes that is a dog, capital D, double OG. You dig what I'm saying? He ain't trying to cut bait. He not looking for the easy way out. To me, TJ is the guy that's like, bro, I'm going to show you why we win. I'm going to show you that I'm the reason. I'm not looking for an excuse. I'm not looking for anybody to come here and make me feel comfortable. Nah, I'm going to show you that I am that I can be that guy. That's what I believe. I know when I shared the locker room with him, that's the energy I got off the kid. So to me, I'm like, I don't see why he would want to cut and run, but some people do that, and I'm not against those that do, but I just don't think that TJ got that in him, man. All righty. Cornell Banks says, nobody should be mad if TJ leaves. The GOAT deserves that ring. And I agree. I'm not against it. I just don't think he would. I personally wouldn't make that move if I was him, because I think for him, man, dude, you here, you black and gold, man. You a one jersey guy. Make it happen. Nothing like winning a championship when you the guy that was, that stayed. You think about how Giannis talks about his championship, man. It's like, yo, he stayed. Versus the guys that leave. And it's like, man, I love LeBron. But that's part of the knock on him. They're like, well, hey, man, you had to go around. He did do it in Cleveland. He did get one there. But it's like, yo, you had to leave. That's part of the knock. You look at Jordan, it's like, yo, Jordan did his there. That's why everybody loves it. It's like, yo, it adds to the vibe to it. So when I think of TJ, I'm like, TJ the type of dude that want to cut and go jump on somebody else, save the game. Heck no. He's like, hey, bro, I'm nice here. I want to do it here. I want to be the part of the legacy here, because it hit different when it's here. And that's the thing that I think for TJ, man. All righty. All right. Just trying to see if anyone else had something on the TJ. Ooh, okay. Cookie Monster says, come on. We know the Steelers aren't going to the Super Bowl anytime soon. TJ's loyalty will cost him a Super Bowl. Now, interesting. I could definitely understand that approach. The other thing I would say is, which team would you jump to that is a surefire that does get you back to the Super Bowl? Obviously, we know the Steelers are obviously in the postseason this year, so we got to be looking at the 6 finalists or the 6 teams that, were also there. Are we looking Bengals maybe? They ain't make the playoffs, so, you know what I mean? Like, where are we going with that? Is it a Buffalo? Buffalo ain't been to the Super Bowl in a while. Ravens, they ain't been to the Super Bowl in a while. You know what I mean? Are we saying Chiefs? Maybe that's the team then. Not them. It's like, yeah, go NFC, man. Go NFC, I guess, because, yeah. But once again, it's like, are you saying the Eagles? All right, cool. They won it. But there's no guaranteed team that there's no guarantee that any of these teams are going to get to the Super Bowl, let alone win it. The way that we talk, the way that we act, oh, yeah, man, because they got man, I'm old enough to remember when they said the Jets was going to do it. Remember that? Aaron Rodgers got there 2 years ago. Hey, man, a lot could change. Happened real fast, too. We hear it all the time, man. Hear it all the time. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm not against it, though. If TJ were to do it, I'm not against it. Not against it. I hope he doesn't, though. Hope he doesn't. But we did see Myles Garrett do it. I saw y'all, and nobody was tripping on Myles. We was all like, all right, we understand it, Myles. You play in Cleveland. We get it. But I don't know. I kind of like what TJ's doing by staying put, man. Or at least I hope he stays put, but we'll see, though. We will see. Alrighty. Ooh, shout out to Tons of Fun. Spinning the block back in the building. He says, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. No, absolutely, man. But it's a difference between preparing for the worst and only focusing on the negative, too. And sometimes you got to be careful with how you tone that line, man. Just when you're talking about building the roster going forward, everything can't be completely bad. That's why, even when me and Deke, we used to do the show together, you hear me say, what, man, we doing the opposing team. Yeah, our emotions are going to say that team sucks and everything about them sucks because we're the Steelers. But it can't all suck, because if that's the case, they wouldn't be employed in the NFL. So with that being the case, let's talk. What do they do well? What don't they do well? Pros, cons, strengths, weaknesses. Every single thing has that. So when we start to ignore one side versus the other is where we get in trouble. And at times, because of our emotions surrounding the team and surrounding the games, that happens a lot, man. It happens a lot from my perspective, at least. All right. But shout out to the gang, man. Shout out to Tons of Fun, man. Rocking out the way he is, man. Nothing but love. You already know that, baby. AJ Martinez says Tons might have a point. What kind of line do we have? A line for a running QB or a pocket QB? The brass just spraying and praying. I'm kind of confused. So not spraying and praying. In fact, the opposite. Very intentional. The problem is what we have decided to invest in, we have not got the full return yet. Now, part of that was due to injury. Some of that you could throw coaching. Some of that you can throw in just players not playing well enough. And what I mean is this. The past 3 seasons, Say Milo has been in here. Broderick Jones has been drafted in here. His first rounder. Troy Fautano has been drafted in here. His first rounder. We went out and signed James Daniels, massive contract. And, we drafted Zach Frazier also and Mason McCormick as well. And even Dan Moore was a 4th rounder. So we're talking about investing a lot in that specific area. We're not just spitballing, throwing things at the wall saying, man, all right, get this guy, get that guy. It's like, nah, we're trying to improve the line. Now, what took place also this year was what? Well, the first combination of offensive line you were supposed to have included Nate Herbig being the starter at center. He got hurt, right? Out for the year before we even took a snap. So that's one lineup done, right? Then from there, let's see. You had James Daniels in the lineup. He goes down. That's the second version of your lineup, okay? Let's see. You had Troy Fautanu get a start at one point, right? That was the Broncos game. Gets hurt, right? It's another lineup, okay? Then from there, we know for the postseason game, specifically that one, Calvin Anderson was starting for Mason McCormick. So that was another variation of the line. Let's see. I don't, off the top of my head, remember how many games or snaps, because I do remember Dan Moore coming out. I just don't remember if he missed a game off of it. But I know we used a different lineup when he was out because we put Spencer Anderson out there for a couple of times. And that would have been a fifth different variation of line. And I want to say we had a Seyumalu situation as well, where that was another variation. Wait, we actually did, because Mason McCormick was starting for Isaac Seyumalu. You're right. And then he bumped over to the left. He's starting at left and he bumped over to the right. So that's 6 different variations, man, of offensive line combinations. And none of those combinations are the one that we had on paper for initially week 1. So when we're looking at the O-line and we're ultra critical of the coaching, we're ultra critical about the direction of it and what we're trying to do and the intent, I think that we're missing what was the underlying thing here. Availability, man. The guys that we have invested in haven't been available to us to play. Broderick, I mean, obviously we wanted to sit him that first year, play him at left, but Chooks had a situation, so we ended up putting him out there at right. Cool. Here's what it is. Troy, draft Troy, wanted to play. He gets hurt. Throughout training camp, unavailable. Plays, a game or two, as at that Denver game in, quarter or two, and then from there, done again. So, James Daniels, it's another guy, like I said, high pedigree, man, in terms of draft compensation and what we spent on him when we acquired him in free agency. But once again, it's hurt for the year. Achilles. So, as I'm looking at this O-line, I'm like, man, I don't see a team that is lacking identity or a team that's lacking direction. I just see a team that the people that they're investing in via draft and free agency are unavailable to them. Now, that could be a different question of why they're unavailable. Do you want to get more healthy and things like that? But as a whole, it's like, you see what they're trying to do. We can put the blinders up because we don't like the outcome of it, which I think is different. The outcome, very different than the intent. I think the intent is there. It's just the outcome ain't been what we wanted. And, I mean, we see it all the time in the draft, baby. But that, to me, is more of the case than them just, going about this thing kind of just like half-heartedly with no true direction, AJ. So, shout out to you on that, though, man. But, we will see, man. But I do think that once we can get those guys healthy, prepared, and good to go, because prior to this year, I mean, think about it. We were talking about how we had one of the healthier groups, man. Hey, man, it's been the same group for a year now. Same group for almost 2 seasons now, man. They don't miss any games, man. They're getting better. And it's like the injury bug hit us. But the same was with that Killer Bee era. When you talk about Pouncey, Ramon, Double D to Castro, right? Talk about Gill, Beach, and then from Beach going to Al, them dudes hardly ever missed. They were always available. It's just like, man, we didn't hit this like little period now where we're getting the injury bug killing us at times, man. But to me, man, once we get back healthy, I do feel like that should change. But we'll obviously see what we're going to do going forward, man, because Dan Moore, are you bringing him back or is he gone? James Daniels, are you bringing him back or is he gone? Those are the conversations, man. And then obviously, are you putting Broderick at left? Do you want to keep him at right? What that look like, right? So we shall see. But you already know the drill, man. Hit that like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. All righty. Let's see what we have next on these here supers. Shout out to y'all in the building, though, man. Definitely appreciate y'all rocking out with us. And yeah, Cornell Banks, a healthy Troy Fautanu. I do agree. Be very dangerous, man. You watch how he moved, man. Small sample size, but even in that Broncos game, it was like, yo, you flashed a little bit. You showed some stuff, man. You look good. But we just got to get you healthy. The knee situation kind of caught us all by surprise. We're like, bro, we didn't even know you had that. Like, what was going on here? But that's the unfortunate part. So hopefully for him, man, he's completely recovered and ready to go, because that's why we drafted him in the first round. That's a big body dude that can move, powerful man, fundamentally sound, can play right, can play left. Yeah, can actually play some guard too, man. Like, that's a guy that could play anywhere up and down that offensive line, man, and do it, at least collegiately he was doing it at a high level. So with him, we shall see. But yeah, availability. That's going to be a big part with him. Alrighty. And then Tons of Fun also gifted Upper Room membership to It's Not Showing Up. So Tons of Fun, shout out to you to being an absolute rock star at life. And to the individual, welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. Alrighty. Tons of Fun also says, guess it depends. Big fish can't make a lake bigger without help. But as long as Steelers win a Super Bowl, I don't care if I'm proven wrong. Here we go. No, that makes two of us, man. Shoot. The same way you hear me talk about, all right, man, I think Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields right now. Man, if Trevor Lawrence went out there and stunk it up and Fields was the reason and we whoop everybody, I'm like, God, I don't care. I just want to win. I just want to win. Like, we all got our opinions on who we think can and can't do it. That's well and good. But I don't have too much pride to say, man, look, I can be wrong. I don't have to be right. I do not have to be right. In fact, if me being wrong all the time means we're going to win the Super Bowl, man, heck, color me wrong. All right. I'll be the most wrong dude on the channel. All right. But yeah, that's all we're trying to do, man. We all want the same thing. It's all different perspectives of how we go about doing it. Some people operate more from the, man, I need that doomsday. Others is like, man, I need all optimism. Some people is, man, I need to feel like I got something chasing me, man. I need that edge on me. Others like, nah, man, just let me vibe out. Just leave me alone. So everybody's different with how they would, go about making the roster better. Whether that's changing ownership, whether that's changing head coach, whether that's changing quarterback, whether that's firing coaches or players. Everybody has a different perspective on that. And we're all just trying to see, man, of all these spitballing concepts and all the different, data points that would support our arguments, which is kind of what the approach I take, right? I go off of history. I go off of stats. I go off of personal experience from me playing. And that's where you'll hear me say, man, I think this guy is, or I think this is not. But that's just my approach to it. Everybody else is going to have a different way of how they go about doing it. And like I said, man, that's part that makes this thing fun, baby. And that's why we love the sport so much, man. So shout out to the football day, man. Flow Grown 420 says, hear me out. We bring back Justin Fields. And next year, with the number 1 overall pick, we have Big Ben announced we are drafting Arch Manning to the Steelers. Flow Grown 420. That's a lot going on in that super chat right there. I like the fact that you got 7 coming back to Pittsburgh, making an announcement for the pick. I love that because 7 is 7. And if we're going to throw anybody on that stage, 7 need to be out there. I would like him out there. That's first bet. And if not him, then you can obviously go Debo, right? If not Debo, I'm sure you call up Mean Joe. You got some people around here, Mel Blunt around the city. You know what I'm saying? I got some people around here. Got some people to call. All right. But yeah, I do like that. But what I don't like is this. I have a big grievance with this. You said the first overall pick, man. Either that costs an extremely amount of money to move up from 32 all the way to 1, or was it really, really bad? Because you told me you was like, you bring him at Justin Fields, and I was like, all right, we're going with this. I like the Fields element of it. Let's cook. I cook with that. Then you said the number 1 overall pick. I'm just like, how we get to there? Because I thought if we was going with Fields, we're going to be winning. I'm not saying Fields we're going to be losing. No. So how we getting that 1 overall pick? Unless we just mortgage in the city. Like we put everything up to get that, to move up to get that high, man. But I don't see that one. Why we want to do that, man? Don't do me like that, Flow Grown. Come on, baby. Jeez. AJ Martinez says, Tank City, sell the farm to get Arch. Elwin says, I would sell the farm. Jay Farrell is laughing at this day, man. Cornell Banks says, I'm not thinking about no Arch Manning. I'm trying to get that ring next season. Trust the process. Yeah, I'm like, for Arch? For Arch? Phantom TV says, man, just trade TJ for Arch, man. We just do it that way. We ain't got a tank. We ain't got to do all that. All right? Jeez. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to y'all on that way. I was like, bro, I don't want to have the number 1 overall pick, bro. That means you had to be trash, or trash enough that we could move up from 5 overall to 1. We ain't trying to be that bad. You know how bad you had me to pick 5 overall? I picked 3 overall before in Buffalo. We started out 0-8. Okay, when I said we won 4 games total that season. Yeah, you do not want to pick in the top 5. You do not want to pick top 3. You do not want to pick 1 overall, bro. That is rough. Shout out though to Flow Grown 420, man. Tons of fun says, I guess it's because I think you are too positive about it. I'll be a bad guy to find balance. Nothing wrong with that, man. And trust me, man, you ain't the first person to accuse me of being too positive, man. All right. Now, the rebuttal is always, you just so negative. But that'd be too negative. So I could dig your energy. Hey, now. But for me, it's not necessarily a positive thing. I just don't see what being negative is going to get me out of it. I'm just really analytical about all of these players, though, all these coaches. Like, that's the part that makes me, move one way or the other. the emotional part because of, like I said, playing, man, you learn to take that emotion out of it. So it's like you almost got to remind yourself, hey, show a little more. You got to give a little more motion, man. Get a little more. Ah! Because we just even kill, man. Don't matter how great or how bad. I'm here. Shoot, man, I was laughing, man. Obviously, everybody was getting on Jalen Hurts because they're like, yo, you win the Super Bowl, but you're just so chill. You're so cool. You're just a real chill guy. We look at Joe Burrow, right, winning an award. It's chill. It's a cool guy. Heck, even Josh Allen, super excited, but still, it's chill. A.J. Brown, he's over here, man, I thought winning the Super Bowl would change this, that. Nope, I'm just a competitor. I just want to get back to the grind because we're so singly focused, man. Like, we don't spend a lot of time feeling too happy or too sad because through the experiences of getting there and then let alone staying there and having success there, man, the emotion hurts you more than it helps you at times, man. You really got to be just a surgeon, man, singularly focused and not wavering, not picking and choosing. And that's the part that, I think is the disconnect when I speak to, just you guys, because y'all don't have that same type of experience. So y'all aren't as even killed. So it's like, yo, you look at me like, hey, bro, how you so positive? Or why aren't you tripping? Why don't you want to fire this guy? Why don't you got this? It's like, bro, that's not how we are. We're here, man. We're here because we know, man, none of that's going to help us out. The only thing that's going to help us is us. Yeah, hey, man, no pointing no fingers, baby. You look in the mirror, you want some help. All right, that's what's going to help you. Figure it out. All right. Dylan Goodson showing a little love tonight as well, man. He says, bring back Justin Fields and Jalen Warren. I like where you're at right now. I like where you're going with this. All right. He says, also bring in T. Higgins. Now you talking my language. Now we loading up. Okay. He says, trade up while keeping next year's first and this year's second and draft Ashton Genty, then D-line in the second round. Woo, hoo, 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 hoo. Yeah. All right. I will say this, man. In terms of running backs, if I was gonna draft one in the first round, I'm not drafting the running back. I'm drafting what I call a playmaker. Ashton Genty is a playmaker. Yeah, because you don't draft running backs in the first round. Everybody knows that. That's taboo. Ooh, no. Can't do that. But a playmaker, that's different. That's big different. So when I look at Ashton Genty, yeah. I like that right there, man. Because number one, we can never have enough dynamic playmakers, dynamic people with the football in their hands. Ashton is for certain that he can catch out the backfield. He can obviously be the home run threat. I like the fact that he pass blocks as well, not afraid to stick his face in the fan. And he has good contact balance, man. Can run inside and outside. To me, man, there isn't a ton of negative that I see when I look at Ashton. The two things that when I had to write something down for a pro and a con, I said competition level because obviously he's playing, at Boise State. I do like the game against Oregon, but it was just one game against Oregon. So in terms of the questions of, all right, can you sustain that versus that, level of competition back to back weeks, we won't get that answer until, he's drafted. The other part was I said, okay, you're a little bit shorter, but I'm not tripping on that. Like, bro, you can still cook with being in a shorter frame versus being in a bigger body frame. You talk about like the Derrick Henrys, the Najee Harrises of the world. But to me, man, Ashton Genty, heck of a player, would for certain be a boost to our offense. It doesn't matter if you're talking Fields, Russ, Lawrence, Rodgers, Stafford, and any other name that you want to throw out there. Ashton Genty helps you out in a major way from an offensive production standpoint. What you could do in terms of throwing it to him out the backfield, man, any of that type of stuff. He's an asset. But that would cost a ton to go get up to where he's going to be at, man. Because, yeah, I don't. Actually, that's a good question. Where y'all think he falls to, man? Is he a top 10? Is he top 15? Where's Genty going to draft? I think it's top 15, worst case top 10, though. Like, because he's a playmaker. That's how I look at it. So, to go get that type, that is going to cost. I'd much rather I'll go find me another running back, man. All right, there's some other options out there, okay? We talked about some of them dudes yesterday, man. You got some Amarion Hamptons. You got some Dylan Sampsons. All right, I like a Dylan Sampson. I can cook with a Caleb Johnson. All right, shout out to Iowa. All right, we got Travion Henderson if we want to go that route. Devin Neal as well, man. So, to me, I would be a little bit more open just strategy-wise to going that approach, one of those other names, versus what I would have to give up to potentially get Aston Genty. All righty. KD. Actually, let me get a little sip too, man. And Omarion Hampton isn't slow, Phantom TV. He's Najee. That's all he is. Najee's a 4-4 running back. Omarion's going to be able to 4-4-4-5. Guarantee, man. But at this level, it's like, man, dudes out there running 4-3s and 4-2s, man. So, he don't get caught a ton. No, excuse me, let me rephrase that. He's getting caught, but it's not like he's talking about getting caught within 20 yards. He's getting caught on the 40-yard mark, that downfield part. And that's the thing. When you look at Najee, it's a similar concept. It's like, man, Najee is going to give you a burst. Najee can get you, the 20 to 30, especially at the collegiate level. He was doing that. Professionally, we saw that be added to his game this year. We bring up that Raiders game where we're like, oh, okay, Najee really started to, hit it on people. To me, Omarion Hampton is just the younger version of what we currently have. I look at him like that, and I say if I wanted the fast version but a little less athletic version of what we currently have, then it's Travion Henderson out of Ohio State. I look at, like, that's the Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson. Like, to me, that's those guys. Oh, righty. But shout out to the running backs, though, man. And shout out to Genty, though, man. All right? Because clearly we're going to keep talking about a lot of these dudes, man. Running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks, man, D linemen. All of these dudes are potential targets for us in the first 2 rounds of this draft, man. And rightfully so. We need help there, whether it's upgrades or just new resources, man. All righty. KD says, being a Steelers fan for 45 plus years, we need to be patient with what Andy and Omar are building. Only 3 years, this team will be a Super Bowl contender sooner than later. We are spoiled as fans with the black and the gold. Nah, salute to you on that one, KD. And there's nothing wrong with being spoiled as a fan, man. You never have to apologize for being spoiled as a fan. As players, we always say, man, we want the fan base spoiled. That means we're dominating. That means we're winning a lot. And that means that there's a certain level of expectation that we are not just living up to, but we're exceeding at certain points, man. So we need that. But at the same time, it's like, I get it. I definitely get it, man. I definitely can get it. Yeah. Patience. But not too much. Not too much. Because now you can start thinking it's okay. And we ain't going for that. Now, I got you on that. We ain't even think I'm going for that. Shout out. And then Tons of Fun says, I'm 24/7 negative. How you 24/7 negative? You tons of fun, baby. Stop playing. Because I think you've been having a great time today, man. He says, Steelers 10-7, no playoff W. All right. Oh, you saying that's a projection for next year? Who did you have as your quarterback in that projection? Just ask. Is it Fields? I think, man, 10-7 with Fields. Why we not gonna be feeling good? We don't know. I think we feeling like, all right, now we got at least one more answer. Let's see what we need to add. Or you just gonna look at it and say, man, whatever the record is, it just is, and we're not looking at any of the stuff in between it. Because I kind of look at all of it. But I'm just curious. I like it, though. I definitely like it. Shout out to Tons of Fun, man. Tons of Fun, you've been rocking out today, man. I like your energy. For certain. And yes, Hannibal, I appreciate you, man. Give me some love, man. Let me take a sip of the drink, all right? Because sometimes I might be over here like, yo, I want a drink. Usually this is why I like pass it to somebody else. But now I'm like, I'm just going to hold the ball for a little bit. Sometimes be like, yo, bump, I'm just going to give me something to sip on, man. All right? As we continue this thing going. You know how I'm saying? All righty. Nah, David Decker, Tons of Fun has been the life of the party today, man. He's been cutting up, man, doing his thing. I like it, though. I was trying to wait to see if he was going to give anything else, if he had another response, man, before we get up out of this thing, because we're on the back end. And, it's been a good little vibe, man. It's been a good little week, too, man. Shout out to everybody that's rocking out with the channel the way that we rocking out, too, man. All right, let's keep this going. Like I said, man, the content going to keep dropping, man. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the 2 new videos that dropped earlier today also. The You had Tyler, me and Tyler, talking his QB talk, man, trying to hear how he felt about it. And then obviously, man, the homie Dom dropped a video with him as well, man, where he got a chance to get his take off and let the world know how he really feeling. We are going to start doing more of those, man, as we continue, into the off season. Just like I said, get different voices around, different opinions, to see how we feel and to see what the young boys doing on camera, all right? I need y'all feedback, though. Let me know how y'all feel about them, all right? Drop it in the comment section on the folks, man, all right? But for certain, we'll keep the content rolling. And shout out to you, Cornell Bakes, man, showing love for said content dropping, man. Definitely appreciate you on that one, man. So, yeah, like I said, definitely tap into those dudes, though, man. We're going to keep that content rolling. And, yeah, man, like I said, man, we just getting started. It's the offseason, baby. We, 2 weeks into this thing? Or, no, we as Steelers fans are a couple weeks into this thing. But as an NFL whole, we won weekend with the, Super Bowl officially taking place last week, all right? But with that being the case, man, shoot, y'all don't rob anybody. Definitely don't do that. Y'all rock out this weekend, though, all right? Have a great weekend this weekend. Enjoy yourself. If you're celebrating Valentine's Day, the lovers' holiday, make sure you're with the ones that you love, all right? Or in the words of Luther Vandross, if you can't be with the one that you want, you better love the one that you with, all right? So you either way, make it work, all right? Make it work. But y'all stay safe out there, man. Don't forget to hit that like button one final time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And until next time, baby, peace.